Back to last night, torrential rainfall over and over in some spots. Might be the same case this time around as we go through the remainder of our Friday afternoon into our Friday evening. Storms with a lot of rain and an atmosphere that we call juiced. We've got dew points well into the mid-70s across much of the area. As a matter of fact, if you've been outside today, we've got a heat index around 100 degrees here in the Quad Cities. Active warnings right now. We'll go actually from south to north. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning. This includes portions of Muscatine, Louisa, Mercer, and Rock Island County. That's south and west of the Metro Quad Cities. West and northwest of the Metro Quad Cities. Severe thunderstorm warning for portions of Cedar, Clinton, Scott, and northern Muscatine County. So if you're in these areas, you need to be taking shelter now. And here in the orange, we have a severe thunderstorm warning tagged tornado possible. We've got this broad line of wind, and you know that on the leading edge of these kind of storm complexes, little spin-up tornadoes are always a possibility. This includes Jackson, Clinton, and northern Cedar County. The leading edge of these storms just about to get into extreme western Jackson County now. You need to be taking shelter. Another reason for that is because you've also got a tornado warning here, this red box, and you can see that's kind of northwest Jackson County on the far western side of the county. That goes till 5 o'clock, and that's a tornado warning because obviously some rotation is involved in these storms. And as we look southwest, any of these individual storms coming into the area really have all pretty much shown at least minimal signs of rotation. And with this blast of wind from this complex here coming in from the west, again, it'll be those leading edge spin-ups that will be something that we have to keep an eye on. But for the time being, a lot of you are dry right now, but we go through the evening from now, you see it on the clock, 4:32 to probably 7 o'clock. And then even after that, still some storms dragging along with our tornado watch for much of the TV6 viewing area until 8 o'clock. It'll be the leading edge in these isolated storms until the leading edge of this big band that goes back towards central Iowa moves into and through the area. So we're going to look at about 3 to 4 solid hours here of strong to severe storms moving across the area. I'm going to talk to Kyle right now. He's gathering some information. Do you have anything new from your spotters?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, so we've got spotters here all along this line, and here's what's going to happen, folks. This is going to be a long duration event, as Eric mentioned. We've got one spotter in particular. We're getting him set up. We'll talk to him here momentarily. He's down with this storm that's impacting Louisa County, getting ready to move into the Muscatine area. But we have severe thunderstorm warnings, expansive severe thunderstorm warnings. But I want to mention this because this is what is, I'm telling you, is going to be a big situation, a bad situation for us, is what we've got on the back end. I'm going to go to the single site here and just show this real quick, and we'll go back to that other view. But look at this right here. This is, anytime we see this, it's called a rear inflow jet. And what that means is we got this wind feeding this, and on the back end of this, what's happening here, folks, is this is going to excel the winds, and I would not be surprised if we get 80 mile an hour, sometimes even 90 mile an hour winds. We'll take a look at the velocity in this, and you could see some impressive I mean, anytime you see that blue there, that's impressive. Now, I bet you we're going to query this, and we're going to be talking some destructive winds here. I can already tell you we're going to see that here. Boom, look at that right there. Here near Cascade, that is 88 mile per hour winds that we have being picked up here on First Alert Doppler radar. If we can come back out to here on the set here. This area, this pool, and this is the problem we see with these. Anytime we see this type of setup here, is we get these really strong to destructive winds to form and pool, and it's pretty expansive. So Bernard over towards the Otter Creek, Route 61 corridor here into Jackson County, Dubuque County. Might even see some of this get into parts of Clinton County, certainly Jackson County though. But gosh, that pool of destructive winds is very expansive from Cascade on.
Can you loop that?
Yeah, I'm going to loop that, and then, well, you know what, I'm going to change that because I bet that speed has changed. But let's do this.
Yeah,
oh, it's really expanding.
And that's just going to catch the whole of Jackson County, especially western Jackson County, as it continues to move in. We'll get, why don't we get Kyle on that shot there with the monitor behind him?
Yeah, I'm going to... we're also getting our spotter up here too. So if we can come back out here, guys, let me know if we're having an issue with that. But right now, I want to do this. There we go. We'll see how fast this is moving. Speed's going to be everything with these. See, we were talking earlier, storms are moving out ahead of this line. We're moving to the east and northeast about 20 miles an hour. This is 50 miles an hour, so much different speed, and that's very typical. I'm going to put a path on this, and let's get some cities and towns here in the path of this, your first alert here. So here we go, folks. We got Clarence, 438 right now. Otter Creek, 447. It'll move into the Wheatland area here, 454. Delmer, about 455. Calamus, 5 o'clock on the top of the hour. DeWitt at 512. This is a very dangerous situation. And I also want to mention, too, is on top of the tornadic potential here that we see and this destructive wind potential, the flash flood threat is very real, especially up in this area. And Eric, we saw that yesterday up in the Butte area and all the way down into Savannah, Clinton. These same areas could pick up a very heavy amount of rain in a very short period of time.
Yeah, we do have that flash flood warning. You can see the bottom of it here. That extends up into Dubuque. And we were talking about this last night, how the rain just collects on the bluff, runs down quickly, and hits that strip of land between the base of the bluff and the hills and the Mississippi River. And maybe you saw today on social media video from that, somebody in their car shooting those streets of that little Dubuque neighborhood there that had water, standing water about 2 to 3 feet high, and just a complete problematic situation for that whole area. And here we go again, where you see the reds, that's the most intense rainfall. And when you see it as widespread as it is, not only from this blast that's coming from the northwest, but these individual storms here, the rain, seriously, as we were looking at last night, can top 1 inch in just a few moments, because we're looking at rainfall rates that can be anywhere between 1 and 2 inches per hour. So when that just barrels down, you get the flooding right away. Urban and small stream flooding, low-lying areas will fill up. There you go, Muscatine, just west end of town there, really much of downtown Muscatine to the west, covered with some very heavy rain, a lot of lightning. And that's another reason you need to be inside when these storms come through, because the lightning with these kind of storms in particular can, what we call bolt from the blue, extend up to 10 miles or so away from the thunderstorm. You could get struck by lightning from a storm that you would never see. New severe thunderstorm.
Yeah, I'm going to go up here. New
coming off here.
We have a new upgrade to this warning, and now we are crossing into that threshold.
Oh, yeah.
I want to mention. We'll show this here. Gosh, it's always it's going to pick up everything. But look at this. That's the considerable damage threat up here to the north. We're going to get into this maybe. We have a destructive tagged warning now. So we got so many warnings here. It's going to be nearly impossible, I think, to get this. But let me give you the information here, folks.
Yeah.
So severe thunderstorm warning. And this is, again, very destructive severe thunderstorm warning heading through southern Dubuque County into Joe Daviess County and northern Jackson County. 90-mile-an-hour winds. We're getting confirmed reports of 85-mile-an-hour winds. This is as serious as it gets, folks. That's we're getting into probably EF0, EF1 tornado category there in a wide area, a very expansive region that would be seeing that. So here we go, folks, up to the northwest of Maquoketa. Gosh, look at that. Oh, wow. That is near Cascade is where that was confirmed at.
Yeah, and right around Anamosa right now. Anamosa just getting blasted right in the core of that blue area, and that's moving right toward Maquoketa, too. Now, it is behind the leading edge of the storm where the winds really pick up. So just because the leading edge of the storm has passed you by here in Maquoketa, not too distant future here, don't think that that's going to be over, because actually the worst of the winds are actually behind the leading edge of the storm. You see, we've got the green on the leading edge here, but then the blue comes into play, and as we queried there, we were looking at nearly 90-mile-per-hour winds, and that's exactly what the storm warning has gone to, a 90-mile-per-hour wind storm warning.
Yeah, right there, and then you see those areas that are affected. We have had a new warning actually here too. So, and this was the fear, right, that we would get into this mess and it'd be just one warning right after another. I'm gonna go down to the south here because we've got two new warnings. But I also want to mention too that we've got a spotter in that area, and I don't know if Parker is available. If you can hear me, Parker, right now, you're in. You want to tell us where you're at? You're watching the storm here that's approaching the Muscatine area.
I am down here in Grandview looking over Columbus Junction. A lot of rotation, nothing, too distinct yet.
Yeah,
but
we're
it's
noticing
definitely
that.
turning.
Yeah, we could see that there's little pockets of circulation here all throughout that cell. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning that was issued, and it does include that region that you're on. So I know you have been throughout the afternoon here. You've been watching this cell, and it's had at times some lowerings and certainly some rotation that you've noted. Do you still see we're still holding on to some of that rotation there then?
Yeah, most definitely. I'd say it even got a little more organized on this south part of the Columbus Junction one. The initial one that went through is just very broad, disorganized.
Sure. Do you have any hail? We're picking up a little bit of hail there. Have you got into any hail?
I did a little bit briefly, but I was just mostly south of things. I moved a little bit, and now I'm sitting here on the hook of this Columbus Junction storm.
Sure. All right. Well, hey, thanks for checking it out. We're going to come back to you and kind of get updates. If you have anything, jump in, let us know. We appreciate the reports. And, of course, folks, if you have anything to pass along to us, do so. We appreciate the reports. You can reach out to us in many ways, news at KWQC.com. Also, we've got, of course, our Facebook page and YouTube channels, but don't want to take too much attention away from this dangerous storm that's now approaching here, Jackson County, the Maquoketa area. Maquoketa, you need to be in your shelters right now, regardless of the tornadic portion of this. We've got certainly some circulation possible there, but look at that, Galena, red line, center line, destructive winds about to move into town.
Yeah, the Maquoketa hit twice here. We've got that cell that's over it right now, or just about to be over it, and then the blast from the west, those strong winds over Wyoming. We're looking at those winds anywhere between 80 and perhaps 90 miles per hour. And just heads up, as we are looking to the south, Muscatine, that hail core heading right toward Muscatine proper. As we are looking at that storm with Parker's report, you can see that that gray area, hail there, Kyle's just put that on the screen, heading into Muscatine. And we've got a live shot now from Walcott, just north of this activity. And we go over to Walcott now with a look at the Jamboree and what's going on, Madison.
Yeah, so a message has just been sent out to all the vendors here and everybody in attendance at the Truck Jamboree to evacuate as soon as possible. They're having people move out. A fire truck was just going around making an announcement telling people to move to a safe structure. There's 3 buildings on property that they've said people can shelter in, but they're recommending they're telling everybody to pack up and go home. The event is canceled for the rest of the night due to the storm that's coming in, but the event organizer told me that they will reopen tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. and it should go on as expected as of right now.
Okay, thank you, Madison. We appreciate that. As far as you can, though, still, let's keep her on the screen. Madison, if you can tell us, or Madeline, I was going to ask her if she could see that storm coming in from the south. If Madeline was able to get any idea of the structure of that storm, because again, that is approaching from the south. As we, Kyle, if we could get that area just west of the Metro Quad cities on the map here to look at Walcott. Yeah, these are the storms coming our way. There's Wilton, Walcott up there, and as these make their way into that area along Interstate 80, not only are they going to bring drenching downpours, but also strong winds as well, and the possibility of hail, but obviously lightning too. I'm sure they could look south and see the lightning on that storm. But there's another severe thunderstorm warning. We're getting a layer of severe thunderstorm warnings here from north to south, and we still do have that tornado warning that goes until 5 o'clock for portions of Jackson County, and just north of it, another one for Dubuque County. But again, with our Jackson County warning till 5 o'clock, very strong winds coming in, regardless of whether or not there's a tornado there. We could see gusts up to 90 miles per hour.
Yeah, here's my concern right now, Eric, and I think you could probably, we could both talk about this, is this is all happening. This could probably be considered the worst case scenario for this. We've had worse things happen, but as far as timing goes, it's approaching 5 o'clock. We're about peak heating. So the most energy, the highest amount of energy is going to be in place for this as it continues to move into the viewing area. If we can see things weaken this, we've seen it before, but I can tell you right now, just based off what I'm seeing, is it's only on an uptrend here as it continues on, especially areas north of I-80. we've got a couple features I want to talk about. So, we'll go kind of north to south here. We'll start off to the north where we've got the most significant severe weather and tornadic potential. We've got this, Dubuque. We'll take a look here at our Dubuque camera here momentarily because I can guarantee we're going to see some type of significant lowering, but we've got that. Also down here towards Otter Creek as well. This area here is going to be approaching the Galena area. Joe Daviess County, heads up Joe Daviess County. This is a very dangerous situation for you folks. Not only are we talking about that rotation, which is very evident there. That is classic bookend vortex, what we call a little vortex there happening. Very, very classic deal here. But this pool along 151 here, heading towards Otter Creek, up towards Dubuque. If we come back out here, kind of show this, where we have this core of destructive winds. It is destructive tagged, which means that we could get structural damage with this type of wind, and it's in such a widespread area from Dubuque all the way down towards the southern portions of Jackson County, Maquoketa, Otter Creek area heading towards Bellevue, Savannah, Galena, again, approaching Dubuque. So if we got some viewers up there, you need to take these warnings very seriously.
Although there's not much rotation on radar, they do have an officer in Muscatine saying that there is some rotation from a cloud near Muscatine, across from Muscatine High School, Cedar and West Bay Road, West Bay Drive in Muscatine. So make sure if you're in that area, you are taking shelter now. And again, Maquoketa, as we're seeing on the screen here, here's the wind that's coming your way, and it's, we talk about that backward sea. Here it is on radar. You've already got one storm, one isolated storm that moved up from the south. It's on top of town right now. But as thank you. Get this into motion, and look what's coming in from the west. First storm over town now, but what's coming in from the west? More heavy rain and stronger winds, much stronger winds within the storm that's overhead right now. And as we drop south, we've got these considerable damage threats with any of these severe thunderstorm warnings for Cedar, Dubuque, Jackson, and Jones County on that particular one. But as we drop a little bit farther south here, you can see Scott County, Clinton County. New one now for the Metro Quad cities. This severe thunderstorm just issued, and that's a storm warning that will go till 5:30. And here the wind is it's standard, we say, when we see 60 mile per hour and 1-inch hail. That's the trigger for a severe thunderstorm warning. But we do have not only the strong winds, but these little pockets of rotation from some of these storms that just seem to cycle up and down. So we'll have to keep tabs on that as well.
You see what this is doing, Eric, here? We noticed this yesterday, where the winds moving away kind of start. It looks like almost like a sink drain effect, where that green starts kind of tucking underneath, and that red starts to overtake it a little bit. Good indication that we got to watch that. We are in an environment out ahead of that main line where tornadoes are certainly possible. So we've got that tornado watch till 8.
Yeah, and look at right where that's heading. So this time around, it would be the northern half of the Metro Quad cities, which is essentially the Iowa side of the Mississippi, although that warning does include areas south as well. So Muscatine, Scott, Rock Island County, this warning goes till 5:30, and again we're looking at some perhaps spinning winds rotating into the area from the west. A little bit of a timeline here: Bluegrass 5:04, Davenport 5:27 up north to the airport, about 5:31, and Pleasant Valley 5:48. Although I think that might maybe let's think that it's going to be a little bit faster than that, because it's only 4:48 right now. I don't think it's going to take an hour for that one to cross town, but here it comes in from the west. So now portions of the Metro Quad cities involved in this severe thunderstorm warning, and again, it does include little portions of Rock Island County and extreme eastern Muscatine County, which would also tag the Bluegrass area there too as well, Buffalo as well.
Yeah, I'm looking down here into this storm that we're watching in the Muscatine area, and this is the one that Parker was on, and he's noted we've had a lot of heavy rainfall with that, and that's going to be the case. Here's the deal, folks. I want to make this very clear, too, is that you folks out ahead of this is the storms that we're seeing move through the metro and other areas here. That's part of one of many waves that are potentially possible here. I'm going to kind of thin things out here and go down to just kind of the bare bones and just got the underlying warnings there. But what we have happening here is this. We've got this activity, this shield of development here along the Mississippi River is wave 1. That's the tornado threat, still some heavy rain, maybe some hail. And these ones are moving about 25 miles an hour. You get up here to this main line that's moving through areas like Galena. We'll get up to that in a minute, but you got all this. Look at this arc of activity out here heading all the way to the southwest. This is going to be a long night, and what I'm most concerned with, folks, is that flash flooding potential. This is a lot of water that's about to move through this area that has already seen quite a bit of rainfall. So that's going to be a major situation. I want to go down here to Henry County, Iowa. Also, thank you, Eric. Also on this storm here, not noticing anything significant here, but nonetheless, we could see some 60-mile-an-hour winds. Hail, actually, this one's got a much bigger hail core here, maybe up to the size of getting close to a $half-sized hail there. I'll put the hail core on, and oh yeah, you can see that there just to the southeast of Mount Pleasant, which is something that we have to watch. When we see hail, I mean, guys, think how warm it is outside. When you can get hail to form in this type of environment, it certainly shows you that there's a very strong updraft in that storm. So right now, not noticing any strong rotation, but something we'll keep an eye on. You folks in eastern Henry County and Des Moines County, up towards the Minneapolis area, watch out for that. But back into the metro, I'll look at this thing. This thing is that's heading into the metro Quad Cities, is strengthening. I mean, nothing incredible, but I would say right now we've got at least a downburst wind event happening, but we're going to have to watch because right along the river here west of Buffalo, I'm noticing some increasing greens matching up with the brighter reds. That's a sign of rotation developing. And how this is kind of turning here, not a good situation, I think. And of course, it seems like every storm that we've had move through the area has made it red line, center line, right through the heart of the Quad Cities all season long. So we might see that again here. But I would say right now is your time, if you're in the metro Quad Cities, to start thinking about moving to shelter. We have a lot of fairs going on right now too. Mercer County Fair, if you know anybody there, we need to get them inside and into shelter because this will be impacting them. But a big spike. Did you see that update, Eric? Look at that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that is just an anomaly here, but I want to look. Ooh, yeah, 72-mile-an-hour winds might be seeing here.
Possible 70-mile-per-hour winds right along and north of the Mississippi. There you go. There's Buffalo right there. We go down to Fairport.
Oh, wow.
And this is moving to the east-northeast, so that puts it in the west end here. There's Telegraph Road, downtown Davenport under the Davenport sign. Tell you what, though, as we're looking at the possible wind speeds here, boy, that does seem kind of anomalous, but wow, 90-mile-per-hour winds, a possibility.
That is.
Yeah, it is spiking. You can see how it does build up to that. So that is a sign that between Bluegrass and Buffalo, you need to be in shelter right now. There's 70th Avenue. And again, because we're really seeing these wind speeds on our radar match what the Weather Service is warning for, right now we've got that potential for 80-plus mile-per-hour winds coming into western Scott County from eastern Muscatine County. So right on the leading edge of that storm.
Not a good spot for
yeah, and this storm, as you showed, has a hail core, has rotation. So this is a very strong storm, one to be dealt with if you're anywhere in Muscatine or across the river even toward Illinois City, down Highway 92 there toward Loud Thunder. You need to be in shelter right now. We know there's a lot of houses out in the woods there, and this would be a great time to take shelter because this thing is showing signs of some somewhat abnormal strength. But again, it's one of these lone storms that, as we've been talking about, is showing signs of anything from rotation to hail to lightning and very strong wind speeds. Looks like it might have gone down a little bit in the last frame there.
Well, I actually changed it from base velocity to relative, yeah.
All right, but if you're between, as we mentioned, Bluegrass and Buffalo, that's how fast this thing is moving. Now it's right in between those areas, 70th Avenue, and moving to the east-northeast. Kyle?
Yeah, I want to mention real quick here, we have an expansion. We talked about this earlier. That tornado watch has been expanded east all the way into the Chicagoland area. So every county in our viewing area at this time is under a tornado watch. But I'm really concerned about this because this is 2 frames now. I mean, sometimes we get these spikes and then it's gone, and we're starting to get some greens mixed in here. This is your first alert if you're in the metro. This is heading to the metro. I'll time it out here. It's a slower moving storm. About what I'm doing here, just Eric, so you know too, I'm going about 5 miles an hour more than what the actual speed is because we get a lot of variability with these.
Yeah, that's
the way
recommended.
the way that these are moving. So they could speed up here, and it's better to be safe than sorry. So really looks to be in the metro here. Bluegrass Family Medical Center is going to be impacted by this at right about the top of the hour. I would say 5:15 to 5:20 west to east here in the metro. It says 5:30 for the Quad Cities, but say 5:20 just to be safe. But that is an increasing concern here for the metro Quad Cities. I want to go back up to the north where our significant and I think dangerous situation here for the northern portion of the viewing area. We still have active tornado warnings
there's
here.
Bernard, boy, getting some strong winds. Love to see those wind speeds right now.
Let's check it. Yeah, I'll see here. 78, and this is, I'm going to change products because I'm on storm relative velocity, which is better to, that's what we use to locate circulations. The base velocity is what we look to get true wind speeds here. Take lightning off, and yeah, let's see. Wow, you can see right in that pool there of just the northwest of Otter Creek, and very strong indication of circulation continues. But was it coming down a little bit? That might be, that's why we got had an update tick through, but it might be coming down a little bit. Let's put this in motion.
Still though, remember
it is
folks, 40-mile-per-hour winds, that's kind of the minimum criteria for damage. Most power companies consider 40-mile-per-hour winds the type of winds that they probably need to send crews out to. So if we're looking at 50-mile-per-hour winds here, right on the leading edge. But one thing is, we've got some storm merger here. Maybe that leading edge is starting to get a little bit less defined. But again, 50-mile-per-hour winds, nothing to scoff at. And that will go into Joe Davies and Carroll County once it finishes up with eastern Jackson and eastern Clinton County. And we've got on the desk Kate Kopatich with some more information on today's situation.
Eric, that's right. You were just talking about the severe weather in Muscatine, and right now there are about 352 customers in Muscatine without power. That's according to their outage map. I just looked at the Quad Cities outage map, and there aren't any here, but yeah, like you just talked about, those strong winds, definitely seeing some power outages in the Muscatine area.
Yeah, we're continuing to watch that, and I'll say this too. Again, this area, we've got those times of arrival here. Galena, this is heading into town here very soon. You need to be in your shelters immediately. Let's see here. Gosh, we're continuing with that 90-mile-an-hour winds on this warning. So I'll get that information too, Eric, on that on those warnings here and see what the latest.
Why don't we go up north, go on radar no Q, and just go right down.
Yep, that's what
we'll
I've
take
got.
a look at the warnings that we have in effect. We'll start here, Dubuque County. There's again another flash flood warning for Dubuque County and a tornado warning, and that includes extreme northern portions of Jackson County. And as we drop south one county at a time here, we're going to get to Joe Davis County. Severe thunderstorm warning here, considerable damage, tornado possible. There's some hail right now around Otter Creek, and again, you can see this bow, that what we literally call a bow echo. There's a lot of wind there, and it's really hugging the Mississippi River right now. Bellevue, you're going to see those winds pick up, as will the rain. Preston, the same thing. Maquoketa already getting some torrential rainfall. As far as Clinton County is concerned, severe thunderstorm warning here as well. There is the leading edge from Calamus down south of Maquoketa. There's Highway 61. And, every place we're talking about right now has a severe thunderstorm warning, but the leading edge of the heavy rain and the stronger winds just west of DeWitt, coming down Highway 30, Calamus and Wheatland already into that. Now we get into northern Scott County. There's Eldridge on the map. There's the western part of the Quad Cities, West Davenport. You'll see that shower and thunderstorm activity, that very heavy rain just starting to work its way into Scott County. And again, those strong winds south of Bluegrass. There's a severe thunderstorm warning for Muscatine. And then this storm right here between Henry County, also up into Louisa and Des Moines County. Again, this was showing some signs of a little bit of rotation, also some hail, but also torrential rains getting out of Mount Pleasant now, although you're going to be replaced with another kind of scraggly area of rain. But Pleasant Grove getting the heavy rain. Now a storm that's been coming in from the south, lining up with Highway 67, southern portion of Warren County, Roseville down 67, now getting some torrential rainfall, and off to the north is where that will go. This one will probably make its way up to Galesburg here in the next half hour or so as these storms continue to become a little bit more widespread through the area. But right now, most of the action in terms of the active warnings is in our northern half, and that does include the Illinois side too. You're rain free for the most part, but boy, Joe Davies and Carroll County, you're going to start getting those showers and thunderstorms into the area very shortly.
Yeah, and they're monitoring that bluegrass storm too here as it you can see. I'll get down here into the storm that is threatening the metro, and it looks like that there is that potential for some spin. They are notating that here. We've been watching that very closely too. Also like to note it is approaching the top of the hour, so we have to legally let you know that you're watching KWQC TV6 News here in Davenport, Iowa. I'm meteorologist Kyle Dickens along with Chief Meteorologist Eric Maitland. We are covering this expansive deal. It's going to be a long night, folks. So let's take that. We've got a live shot right now. They are driving here, and you can see those dark clouds. I bet are we on 61 here? I would assume that they are. Yeah, you can see that. Looks like might have a shelf cloud.
Yeah, it's breaking up a little bit, but yeah, that would be heading toward Muscatine on 61, I would think.
Yeah. So we can stay with that momentarily here. We'll give you an update here on.
Or 22. I'm not sure because it's a 2-lane there, and that's.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah, so we'll keep an eye out for that. But again, the rotation that we noted, I don't want to say it's not nearly as strong as it once was there, and that's a good sign here. But you can see, look at that. That kind of spun up and spun out. So looks like it might be getting undercut there by the outflow winds, which is good news. Still some potential there for some hail. Heavy rainfall for sure going to be an issue. But, oh, look at this. What we have now happening here is, and this is very typical with these storms, is I would say right now here, oops, I keep going to the wrong thing. What we have happening here is this area, looking at this here, coming into the DeWitt area over towards Clinton. I think we're going with, let me check here real quick. I believe this warning is got 70, we're going 60 mile an hour winds, penny-sized hail. But what I'm noticing here is as this is organizing, this is strengthening. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing some 70s in there. And we can take a look here and see what radar is sampling. But yeah, that's going to be an area that, yeah, look at that. That's really expanding there here just to the south of Maquoketa. So DeWitt area, that will impact the Clinton area too. I bet you we're really going to start to see, yeah, look at that. Folks, this is going to be a dangerous situation here for Clinton County. I mean, it's almost centered up right into the heart of the county. DeWitt over towards Clinton, get ready. This is going to be a dangerous storm. I'll put a time on this. I wonder if we're speeding up on these because it looks like it's moving quite a bit faster here. Moving east at 40, actually.
Yeah, that's going to be really, I mean, the core of that's really going to be close to Welton, Iowa.
Yeah.
So the main story here, everybody in eastern Clinton County from Highway 61 east, you need to be taking shelter or take now or very soon. Welton, Iowa up this way. There you can see Grand Mountain along Highway 30, and then we get into southern Jackson County. Preston, this is minutes away from you, so you folks in that little southeastern tier of Jackson County need to be taking shelter. All of eastern Clinton County need to be taking shelter. We're looking across the river now because this is not going to stop, slow down, or dissipate or break up. Oh. So if you're in Savannah, down toward Thompson, anywhere around Fulton, and even down to Albany, these storms are heading your way, so be prepared to take shelter in the next few minutes. You'll notice your skies darkening rather quickly, and the weather starting to take a quick turn for the worse coming up. And there you can see, again, those are some of the sounds in the path of these storms.
Let's go to Max 2 right now. Look at this camera in Dubuque. Can we take Max 2? It is nasty up there, and this is going to be a good look at that. That is what we're going to be seeing.
Wind-driven rain.
Yeah, that's some impressive wind-driven rain right there, and they're right now in the heart of this thing. So here's our Everywhere Camera Network, folks, and this is what we're looking at. Bettendorf on the right there. You can see that darkening sky there. It's same thing with the Metro cam too. We'll start moving these cameras around. But did we just get a tornado warning here for the Metro? I believe we did.
Yep.
So okay, folks, here we go. Tornado warning for the Metro Quad Cities. I will get that information here momentarily. Let's see, maybe not. That was. That was really odd.
Highway 61.
Oh, here's what we did. I apologize. Tornado possible on that. So, wow, look at that base right there. Is this Mike Ortiz that's driving right now, or it's Maria? Okay, have Maria pull over right there because what we're seeing here is that's that area that has this potential circulation here. look at I mean, you could see that rotating, Eric. Look at that.
Yeah, and I know right where we are. We are just west of Interstate 280. There is RV World. On the Camping World on the right there, you can see that parking lot full of RVs, and that is getting very close to the Metro Quad Cities now. We are just west of I-280, southwest here of Westlake Park, to give you an idea, and that is coming into the Quad Cities. That's a heck of a storm there. We've got you can almost see some rotation in the cloud
I'm letting
layer.
the Weather Service know. We need, if you could let Maria know to pull over at a place, because I don't want her to get too wrapped up into that, but that is that denser area there on the right-hand side of that picture is an area that it's lower than what you see on the left there. That would be the area we lost her shot, but that needs to probably get tornado warned based off of what we're seeing. Oh, look at that!
And that's right. I mean, she is.
We need to get her off. She needs to turn around.
Map stop. Good. She is right there. She's literally right there. That is where we have 61 starting. When you leave 280 heading to Muscatine, and that's right where she is, and that is right where our rotation is. Air going toward Davenport radar site, air going away. So that is the circulation, and we could really see it in that cloud shot.
Tornado warning coming for us.
Okay, tornado possible is going to go to a tornado warning for this rotation right here. So if you're in the area of Westlake Park, anywhere along 280, West Davenport, you need to take shelter right now. This is going to hit that Highway 61 280 interchange, go right over it, and then move into Davenport, say anywhere from Telegraph Road north up to there's Northwest Boulevard. So yeah, that area probably is where this is going to be moving if it continues that kind of east-northeast course. So that puts it into West Davenport. There are alarms for the tornado warning. That is, of course, for the metro here. And that's why we're all seeing our phones go off. So we're going to turn those off because we already know about it, and we've been talking about this storm now for a while. But if whoever, in that car, Maria, if we could just get on the radio to her and tell her, come back, go to there's a Casey's there. I see that she's turning around, but tell her specifically there's a Casey's there, that convenience store. Go there, get in that thing.
I totally agree. And look at that,
because it's going to be right on her. She needs to accelerate, get into the Casey store, take shelter anywhere around there. I know there are homes there, neighborhoods even up and down north and south from that lighted interchange with the convenience store, and there's also a Quick Star there, I believe, too. So let's take Max 2. What do we have on Max 2?
We've got
the Skyview shot. Yeah, there we go.
I'm going to move Skyview around here.
Full.
We've got that area of rotation. You can see it right there, Eric, here. We've got it live on Skyview.
Boy, we've got the shelf cloud. We've got the inflow in the lower left.
Yeah, it is.
Beaver tail.
Yeah, right there on the right-hand side. I'm going to move this here, and of course, as we're continuing to watch this,
I can do it.
Not on, let's see here. Here we go. I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks like right there. That is, I mean, based off of radar right now, I mean, this is an impressive, very impressive shelf cloud, and you can see that density of all that rain that we're going to be seeing moving in here to the Metro Quad Cities. But I would say right here, Eric, look at this.
Bring me on top of that.
Yeah, look, this is that area. See that little lowering there?
Yep.
That's, I would say, the somewhat of a depression that's dropping. That would be the area that I would be concerned with.
Yeah, that might be a little north, but yeah, look at that. That's interesting because we're seeing that darkening there.
I mean, this is, and if Maria has a live shot, too, of what she's doing, where she's at, let us know, folks, in the booth. And, oh, wow, look at that hook echo right in the metro. That's, folks, this is serious. Okay, so let's get some streets here, and you can see, this is the area that is.
There's 280, there's Westlake Park in there, actually right about in there.
Yeah, and I'm watching closely here.
Bring that out just a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah, obviously, we've got that notch there too. So
yeah, and I'll do this. We can see. We'll put a scope on this.
This is about where
right there,
things are happening, moving this way toward Telegraph. So that's going to put it very close to the northern edge of downtown. There's again, there's Locust. So this is going to probably, at this rate, intersect Locust very close to Welcome Way or Brady, Harrison or Brady. As we have this rotation that we've noticed from the ground, noticed from the radar, and that's why we have a tornado warning for the Metro Quad Cities.
Max, too, I think there's a tornado on the ground right now. Gosh, Look at that right there. There is a, I'm going to try to brighten this up a little bit.
I can
This is that
kind
area.
of see what you're talking about.
Yeah, it is defined here, and we stay with this right now. So what you're looking at here is west into
put
Davenport.
me over, Skycam.
Yeah, if we can, get Eric over that or over Max too. I'll back this up, and I'm gonna try to brighten this up here and see what we can see here. But this is impressive. See it right there, Eric, on
Yep.
that. Kind of point that out there.
Yep, and you can see the rotation. Could we get me over Skycam so I can point this out? Just let me know when I'm over it.
Yeah. So what I'm doing right now is I'm working to get this. We're gonna get the. All right. There we go.
You can almost see the rotation right here, but dropping down from there, we've got signs of a circulation. You can see it kind of as we keep everything
wow.
still. When the contrast comes back, you can see it. Yeah, that looks like the wall cloud right there. Leading edge tornado, so there's also kind of a shelf cloud. If we were looking farther that way, you kind of notice that. But again, this is the orientation. We are at 805 Brady Street. There's Central High School, so we're looking almost due west to this. So this puts us again in the distance with a little correction, fairly close to where Locust, or just south of where Locust crosses Interstate 280. And this is moving to the, let's say, east, northeast, so not quite east, a little north of east. And wow, that is very impressive. We've got the wall cloud, we've got the rotation on it, and it kind of looks like there's a lot of rain shield there. And I'm going to stay off of that because I kind of break up the contrast when I'm on that shot. But boy, there's torrential rain. That's going to be difficult to see. However, if you look at this, okay, one more time, watch this. You can kind of see the rotation even from this far out, and that's the base of the mesocyclone.
Observed tornado.
Okay, all right. Does it say where? Give a location.
We do not, but I'm going to go back.
Okay.
We stay on Skyview here. You could see it, Eric. Look at this right here. I'm going to come. I mean, this is probably easier if I just do this. But right here, what we're seeing.
Lose contrast.
Yeah, right here, what you're seeing is it's right here.
Yep.
Is there is a tornado on the ground. This is moving into and through northwest Davenport right now. You need to be in your shelters right now, folks. What we're seeing here is we're at the campus here. This is the campus area of Palmer College, looking to the northwest. Right here within this, it is wrapped in rain. But what's happening here is this is that tail cloud. This is moving into the storm. Look at this. You got the motion here. Tornado.
This is on about Locust and 12th Street, and if we go back to Max 1, we've got the location circled. 12th and Locust, around 12th Street, south of Locust, and the, let's see, let me get to the cross street here. Wisconsin Avenue, Locust area. That is the rotation, and that is moving to the east-northeast. I'm going to come back on screen now. So if you're along Locust, we've got Lincoln and the Hy-Vee out there. There's Hickory Grove, Central Park. Lombard is down here, and again, so this is where our tornado is. We're looking at West Davenport, very close up. Give you the orientation. There's Interstate 280. There is Locust. This comes into the more populated areas. There's again Hickory Grove. There is Division right there, and boy, this is making its way very slowly to the east-northeast. It's going to cross Locust probably on the next loop here. That gets us over to Hickory Grove and Central Park the next time it comes. It looks like we just got our update, losing a little bit of clarity, maybe if we go to the north a little bit, and that puts it now in this area. So that's, and back to Skyview we go. Yeah,
let's go to Skyview right now. Just a moment ago, I can't verify this, but it looked like we did have a power flash. Wouldn't be surprised. I mean, this is tagged an observed tornado. So right now, this is a very dangerous situation for the Metro Quad Cities, okay? We've got a confirmed tornado. You're seeing it here. It's hard to see because it's all wrapped in rain, but what we're seeing here is within this this area right here. It might be just behind kind of that front edge there, Eric. I'd say probably just right behind This area is where that circulation is on the northwest side of town. But,
yeah, and as we go there, I think that's the hospital there that's just at the top of the tree line. So again, that puts us in that western portion of Davenport, north of Locust, and say around Lombard, and then going north from there. This is the leading edge, and again, rain wrapped, unfortunately, so it's really hard to see exactly where it is. So that's why we use the radar to show us right where we're looking at the ground contact on that base velocity. There you go. So there you see the hospital, Genesis West. There's the rain that's starting to get wrapped into this. And again, this is the front face of the wall cloud, if it's showing. And then right in there, we've got that tornado. Again, we're looking at areas around Locust. If we could go back here. There is, now we're up to Kimberly Road, Hickory Grove, Kimberly Road, and North Fairmont Street. Maybe a little bit of a debris signature there. This is not looking good. There's Hickory Grove, there are the old ball fields. Highway 6, that's of course Kimberly Road. There's up to 46th Street, and here's Division. So now we're looking at this tornado at that little kink in Kimberly Road, that little northward turn as you go out to the interstate. Still moving probably more northeast now. It took a farther
power flashes
jog to
on
the north.
power flashes on Skyview. Yeah, it's in that area. We've got this pointed. Look at that.
Can we do a double screen with this? And there we go.
There we go.
Thank you.
This is, and you can see we're starting to get into the damaging winds here. If you are in the metro Quad Cities, north, I'd say north of Locust. North of Locust right now, east of I-280, that's the area. Shelter now. This is a very dangerous and life-threatening situation for the metro Quad Cities as we have a tornado, what appears to be a tornado,
the
moving
Division
through the metro
and Kimberly
right now.
vicinity, Division and Kimberly vicinity, and then certainly, yes, north of Locust, but now we're looking north of Kimberly. You folks should be taking your shelter now as we get the next radar scan. We'll see this probably move up to closer to 53rd Street, but again, North Park Mall and west of the North Park Mall area, especially along and north of Kimberly, you need to be in your shelter. Even south of Kimberly to Central Park Road, west of Division, that looks to be the area where we're seeing this tornado now, based on what we can see through the rain, and the rain is now getting here in the metro downtown area because you can see it on our Skyview lens. But yeah, there's the track that this tornado will likely take, and let's see, that gets us up to 53rd and Northwest Boulevard, and then farther north where Red Hawk Golf Course is going to come into play here. Kennedy School, 518, Country House Residences, those are listed there just south of 53rd Street. And North High School about 520. If it, there you can see those little flashes. Those could be power flashes that we're seeing here. Kind of tough to see now because of the rain, but we are seeing those still. So,
I'm going to try to get contrast here if I point it that way.
Yeah. We need you folks to be taking shelter. Now our Skyview shot's going to get worse because we've got rain hitting the studio and we can hear it on our roof.
Yeah.
So again, that's why we go back to radar, because we can do a street by street analysis. And if we keep it right there, let's not move in. So I just want to orient people. We go all the way over here. That's I-74. We go a little bit farther over. We've got Kimberly Road, or I'm sorry, Brady Street up here. There's the Brady I-80 interchange. We've got the airport here. And then as we look back toward Kimberly Road, that little northern kink where it heads up toward Interstate 280, this area here, I've got family there. I certainly hope you're in your basement right now, because that's where this is moving, and this will continue to move north of Kimberly as we go through the next scans here. It seems to be moving east-northeast, but maybe now a little bit farther toward the north. But again, that puts everybody in play here that's north of Kimberly, even all the way out to I-74, which is over here. So Jersey Ridge north of Kimberly, Brady north of Kimberly. As this is now kind of straddling Kimberly Road, it's moving to the east-northeast. So that puts a lot of northern Davenport into play here. Some of the places we're looking at, 522 for Brady Street Stadium. And again, this is kind of a wide berth. You see, we get more uncertain as we go farther out, just like a hurricane band. So if this makes a little bit of a turn, it kind of it gets a better chance to fill that triangle, but it could be moving straight on either side. Nonetheless, 522 Brady Stadium, Mississippi Medical Plaza, 525, 527 Bettendorf Healthcare Center, and this continues to move. Do we have a forward speed on this?
It is picking up 45 on that forward speed, Eric.
Okay, so think if you were driving a little bit above the speed limit on Kimberly, or actually Kimberly's speed limit is 45 in many places, that's how fast this is likely moving. So the next time we get a radar scan, you see Trinity Women's Health Center here kind of pinpointed. It's probably going to be closer to that, if not right over that, based on the current movement.
Yeah.
So again, Davenport, you are under a tornado warning. We've got reports of tornado on the ground, and this is where it happens to be. Here's Jersey Ridge, Brady Street right here, Welcome Way right here, and south of Kimberly, which is right here. So this is the area we're looking at, and as we get the next scan, I'll go over and
we've got
update
debris on
this.
Skyview.
Okay.
Right out here at the station, we've got debris flying around here.
Can we
and
take
now
Skyview?
It's up. If we take Max 2 here.
You can certainly see the rotation.
Yeah, you could see it, and there was just a brief amount here. We got might be some hail now, but is that a?
You can see the rain bands.
Yeah, you can see the rain bands. But right,
oh, we're looking south now.
Yeah, we were looking south east towards Moline. Moline and Rock Island, you are in this as well. I'm going to you're going to see this break for just a second. I'm going to go to our Bettendorf camera where we've got do so, Eric. We've got our Bettendorf camera here that we will be taking here now. Give this just a second to jump over there, and here we got a good visual of this. This is exactly where it's at as we're looking. This is on 53rd Street here, heading towards Bettendorf. You folks in Bettendorf, you need to take your tornado precautions right now. This is the 53rd Street folks here up in Davenport. This is, moving right towards this camera is the area of circulation. I also want to note too, and I haven't checked to see if there's an update on this, but how serious this is, folks. The folks at the National Weather Service are thinking about hitting the deck and letting another office take over the warning duties here so they can let this thing pass. But we stay up here on the Bettendorf camera. This is approaching that area. This is the hospital here in Bettendorf. I think what other buildings we have up here. This is looking towards that dealership, I think is right there as well.
Yeah, right in the foreground here, 53rd Street and the Blood Center, 53rd Street on the other side of the Blood Center there in the foreground. This is that street, and I don't know the name of it, but it's that street with the offices and such. Behind the two medical centers, the urological office and the orthopedic
Veterans
center.
Memorial?
Yeah, I don't think it's that.
Whoa, listen. We've got some loud noises here at the station. Let's see here. I'm not seeing anything.
It's a little bit easier to see if we put this into motion.
Yeah, which we'll do. It is right over top of the airport, gosh. But there might be another circulation moving right over top of us here. I don't know if, just to let everybody know in the building, might not be a bad idea to hit shelter because we're hearing a lot of noises on the roof too. You see that circulation here just to the west of Brady?
Yeah, it's right on top of the downtown.
How about everybody
right
at the station? You guys, once you hit shelter, we'll just be ready to go. We're close enough to the door here to hit the basement, but we need to take shelter just like you should be at home too. Looks like there might be a couple areas of circulation.
One I know. We saw this last night too. There's one right here. There's a little bit of one back here. Remember, there's the radar site, so it's very easy to tell. Air going toward the radar site, air going away from the radar site, and that actually puts this one here a little bit east of downtown into play. And again, at this point, it's kind of tough to tell where our first circulation is. It's kind of right over the radar site, which I assume is why they are making the gesture to get into shelter at the Weather Service office.
And I bet you, look at this is going to be surface winds. So, gosh, look at that. Oh my gosh, that's
wow. I hope we don't lose the radar site.
That's 110. That'd be tornadic
winds.
That's a tornado. That's an EF2 tornado right there. I don't know if that's. Yeah, we've got outbound winds coming in. Wow, gosh, I hope our friends at the National Weather Service up there in Mount Joy. So you folks, Mount Joy.
Trailer park, mobile home community, just north of I-80 there, on Old 61. You folks certainly need to be taking shelter. Hopefully you've got strong shelter with winds like that in the vicinity.
So let's go here. And I think there's, we got other pockets of circulation here. I know the Moline area, and it looks like this is exclusively into the Scott County area. I wouldn't be surprised if we see an expansion of that tornado warning, but certainly this is moving. I mean, this is just not good here. Bettendorf, folks, you absolutely should be taking shelter right now. I'll put a path on this again, and you could see here, Trinity Women's Health Center at 525. It is over top of you right now. You see our Bettendorf camera there. That is, and I know, folks, we have other warnings that we need to get to here. Let's do this. Let's keep this up for right now. We're going to get this through the metro and let you folks know in Bettendorf you have less than I'd say it's moving into Bettendorf now. I'd say right now.
You need shelter now.
We've got a crew. Brianna Baylog is seeking shelter right now out there as well. So any of our crews that are out there, but wow,
anywhere between I-80 and the Mississippi River, you need to be taking shelter because we could have multiple circulations here.
This is. That's going to be the Northwest Boulevard, the Machine Shed Restaurant area.
Yep.
Everybody knows where that's at, right? Heading towards Mountain Joy, the Machine Shed Restaurant down towards North Park Mall. We have on top of this tornado, and what has been a confirmed tornado, look at that. We have 110 mile an hour winds with this. This is as serious as it gets. It does not get much more serious than this. I think this is a destructive situation. Wow, I don't know that I've ever seen winds this close to the radar. I mean, look at this. This is just incredible. So I'm going to tell you, yeah,
our staff right now is actually going to the basement.
Yeah, and that's good. And I think that's
we're taking those safety precautions.
And us here in the studio are very close to the door to take shelter. New tornado warning does include Rock Island County, so we'll get that information. And it is going to be for this area here. We just talked about it. Kind of an expansion here of that. And so this does take it into the Port Byron area, Pleasant Valley, up towards LeClaire. This includes LeClaire here into, we got the Pebble Creek area here to the northeast, Middle Road, Thunder Ridge Road, all these roads I'm naming off, Devil's Glen Road.
Yeah, Hampton, Lock and Dam 14 area, East Moline.
But look at that, right? I'm telling you, that's impressive. I don't know that I've ever seen that. We got an update coming here on the radar. Let's see what that shows. Still shows that circulation. I would say right now, I'm going to move our camera, which we may have just lost our camera. So we have, I don't have our Bettendorf camera. We may have lost signal. Very possible there. So if we can get off of that, folks, in the control room. They're not there. So what we're going to be stuck with is, okay, so there we go. Our Bettendorf camera is down. We have lost power there. And let's check. Let's get in and check power outages, Kate, while you're on that. So. Briefly here, Bettendorf, and I'm also going to, this warning is over, or the storm is, possible tornado is over top of Mountain Joy at this time. Eldridge, you need to be taking shelter now, too, from the damaging wind threat. Pleasant Valley, LeClaire, and Bettendorf. This is a very serious and life-threatening situation, is on top of the threat of a tornado, and we've got strong indication. We've had a confirmed tornado at some point, too. Move right just to the northwest of the station. We saw power flashes, 63-knot winds, and climbing at the airport here, so that is very strong.
Yeah, and I'm looking at some of our cameras right now, and the worst thing is that it's kind of rush hour, so people who have been in the office all day coming back home, and seeing a lot of traffic on the road. And we have another tornado warning.
Okay, that is a flash flood emergency. That's going to be another flash flood emergency here. And I'll get the info on that. So yeah, got a lot happening here, folks. And
then we do have an update on those power outages in the Iowa Quad Cities. 5,700 customers without power.
Okay, and this is that catch-22. We have a tornado warning. This does look like it is transitioning, according to the Weather Service here. They're there. They can see it to a very destructive wind situation. But now we're transitioning here to the secondary threat. This is, again, you should be sheltering in your basements. But now, if you're in a basement that floods, we're under a flash flood emergency once again for the metro. Let's see here. That's the other warning here. I want to get that flash flood warning. Radar indicated thunderstorms producing heavy rain in the warned area. Between 1 and 1.5 inch rain have fallen. Flash flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly. And given how quickly flash flooding happened on Thursday night, similar should occur in parts of the Quad City Metro. Once again, that is River Drive in Moline. That is River Drive in Davenport. That is all the old low-lying areas. We had a whole slew of areas that receive that. But new severe thunderstorm warning there too, Eric, here into northern Henry County, Whiteside County, and also northwestern Bureau County. I think that's considerable damage threat tagged on that, but also up towards Clinton. Clinton, you need to be taking shelter now. These destructive winds are approaching you, and also to the north. These are moving through Carroll County. Once again, an area that was already hit yesterday. And Eric, here's another problem that we have to think about too. Not only do we have that situation where we've got the destructive winds and that flash flooding potential, but with all the rain we saw yesterday, that ground is very soft. So you're going to get a lot of toppling of trees, and a lot of power poles will topple a lot easier here, especially with 80-mile-an-hour winds.
And yeah, Kyle, just speaking of that, William Ingalls, he tells us several branches and limbs are already down on Brady Street.
Yeah, and that's why I widened the shot out here. Look at the extent of those reds. That is extremely heavy rain, and this is going through areas last night that were flooded, Clinton up to the north, and now it's going to be including some of these areas off to the south as well. Again, look at the numerous severe thunderstorm warnings that we have going. And again, if you are ahead of the storm, you have already been warned anywhere from Joe Davies to Carroll to Whiteside to northern portions of Henry County, Illinois, and into Bureau County as well. And we're still with our tornado warning here for the metro, so you should be taking shelter. That also includes portions of Rock Island County as that juts off now anywhere, say, along and north of Interstate 80 in Scott County, and then down toward the Mississippi in Scott County, and then some adjacent portions of Rock Island County. You need to be taking shelter now as this tornadic storm moves through the metro quad cities.
Okay, this is from the Weather Service. Their alert. This is an automated deal. 72 knot wind just got, or that 72 mile-an-hour wind just got confirmed there at the National Weather Service. They're also saying rotation at 53rd and Pine.
Yeah.
That's in Davenport. We've got our Bettendorf camera back up, so I can throw that on Max 2. Give me 1 second here, Max. Let's take.
Yeah, it looks like the National Weather Service lost power. Hopefully that has already come back, because we do see that they have already posted a few things. But there was a report from the emergency manager of Scott County of the 53rd and Pine rotation, and that's really right where we were tracking it with our radar. So our tornado warning, though, does continue. And as far as things are concerned with that tornado warning, though, looks like it's transitioning more into a wind event. And boy, you know, we've been clocking these winds here today anywhere between 50 up to 80 miles per hour. So the prevalence of strong winds along this whole line of storms is certainly something we need to take seriously.
And our crew, we could return our crew. I think the threat for the potentially dangerous threat for us here in the downtown Davenport area is, while it's still dangerous to go outside, it is subsided, so our crew can come back up and we can start getting people out. But I want to also mention that flash flood emergency that's now in place for the Metro Quad Cities. Again, River Drive Moline, we're talking River Drive Davenport. I bet you at 2nd and River here in Davenport, we're once again going to see we had water up to car doors. That most likely is going to happen again. We'll watch that here. We'll take a look at our Skyview camera once things settle down a little bit. I bet you we can't see anything right now. But I want to move up the line here too. I know, Eric, you're mulling over some new information.
Yeah, looks like we got a new warning too. New tornado. I'm sorry, severe thunderstorm warning.
Severe thunderstorm warning. Yeah, we've got a whole slew of them here, folks. I want to go up to the north here. I'm going to go kind of north to south on this, and then we'll kind of pick the line off here and go one by one. I'm going to kind of go. So we got the tornado warning that's north of the area. Eastern Joe Davies County at this time, we do continue with a severe thunderstorm warning. Stockton to Pleasant Valley, Illinois area there, and that's in Joe Davies County. Mount Carroll, heads up. Savannah, you folks, 70 mile-an-hour winds, considerable damage threat, and tornado is possible with this all the way down the line. Savannah, take shelter now. We're talking Thompson. This is an area, Clinton and Thompson. You saw some pretty nasty flooding and also some what appeared to be maybe some 70, 80 mile-an-hour wind damage, according to emergency managers up there yesterday. Unfortunately, that same area is going to get hit with, once again, maybe 70 mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah.
I'll put the velocity back on.
Leading edge now right up to the Mississippi in northern Scott County and Clinton County. So again, now our Illinois counties coming into play. Here's Carroll County, here's northern Whiteside County. Folks in Thompson down to Albany, Fulton, Morrison, be ready to go, because this is all coming your way. And again, there you see the the information on the warnings. Considerable damage tag because of the high winds. Tornadoes possible because of the likelihood of circulation within these storms. So we're 5:33 now, and I would say we're probably only halfway through this because now this all has to cross through our Illinois counties, not only here north of Interstate 80, but some much more expansive part of the Illinois TV6 viewing area off to the south of I-80. There are some of the towns, Comanche 534, Alliant Energy Field 537 into Thompson by 540. The Erie Air Park, that's an ultralight air park, which is indicated here. I know some friends of mine who use that, 554 just before the 6 o'clock hour as these storms continue to move to the east right down Highway 30 and down Interstate 88 into Illinois a little bit deeper. Maybe could we look at our tornado warning and see if we can get any circulation?
Yeah.
Again, the Weather Service did say it's transitioning more into a wind event, but still.
Look at what's happening here.
Yeah.
Got the apex of that thing. LeClaire, you need to be in shelter. It's along I-80 near to LeClaire right now is where I would say that rotation is, Eric.
Yeah, but we've still got winds now blasting out south of the Mississippi, southeast of the Mississippi. And yeah, I'll query that. I'd like to see how fast that wind is. That's getting into the eastern metro. There's Pleasant Valley, of course.
Holy cow.
Let's see.
Oh my gosh.
There's Interstate 80, just south of Interstate 80, probably getting close to Pebble Creek, the golf course there. 123 mile per hour wind estimation. So these things are just blasting these downburst winds here, and those are going to be doing damage. So if you're in LeClaire, rain's just starting, but you need to get ready for the wind, which we've been saying is hanging just behind the leading edge of these thunderstorms as they move from west to east.
There might be some cell towers down here because I'm trying to reach out to some friends out here in this area, and I'm not getting any, but the messages just won't go through. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, from the Weather Service LeClaire, be taking shelter because the rotation is now near LeClaire along Interstate 80 and heading that way. 72 mile per hour gust in Davenport. That's from the Weather Service. So yeah, we've been tracking that as this particular storm has been moving through the area today. Now wind's starting to lighten up a little bit in our Bettendorf cam, and that's good news, but boy, it's the leading edge of the storm, which is the business end of it, and that is just getting into our Illinois counties along and east of Interstate 80.
Yeah, and this is closing in on LeClaire. You don't have much time in LeClaire. You need to be in your shelter right now.
Port Byron, take shelter. Rapid City, take shelter.
Again, on top of the threat for a tornado, I don't want to miss the other big significant deal that we are watching, and that is the flash flood emergency that we're dealing with here, folks, in the Metro Quad Cities. We have so many warnings right now. It's so hard to pick out everything here. And what I might do, we got to watch that. Look at this. We got another TVS, tornadic vortex signature developing here on the back end of this near Buffalo. So we might be seeing some additional redevelopment here. Not as intense as what we're seeing over the Hampton area, but right now from East Moline, I'd say northeastern part of East Moline here to Pleasant Valley up towards LeClaire. We're going to go as far north as I would say you've got Parkview up there. Okay, let's get a street here, 247th Avenue and south. That is where we've got certainly destructive winds, but I wouldn't be surprised if we have a tornado or circulation.
Yeah, they are talking about tightening rotation north of I-80, west of LeClaire. So in that little corner there, where it goes from, if you're heading westbound, you're actually going north and then you turn west. So somewhere right in there, that's where the Weather Service is noting some rotation. Kind of hard to see, but it is there. So that means that if you are obviously in LeClaire, but Port Byron right across the river and in from there south of Cordova, even though if you're in Cordova, I'd probably take shelter as well, and Princeton, Iowa as well, take shelter in that tornado warning right now.
Yeah, it's pretty clear here. Look at that right there. You can see where it's tightening up. I've got this. This is moving this last 30 minutes, and so it's slow moving in comparison to what we're seeing with that line to the north, but you've got clear inflow here. You've got wind moving away from the radar. This is a circulation right on top of Pleasant Valley. Valley Drive is where that is right now, or maybe just to the north of Valley Drive, between I-80 and we got Territorial Road, Indiana Avenue, Middle Road, and down towards the, but closing in on, there it is right there.
Put on reflectivity because we can see that inflow, that little notch there, I think.
Yeah, right on top of it.
Yeah, there it is right there. So we're probably looking right here, right over LeClaire at this point, the rotation. So this is going to move, this will move across the Mississippi River. Just throw out that old adage about tornadoes don't cross the river. That is not true, never has been. And so this is going to cross the Mississippi somewhere around LeClaire, but there's Rapid City right there. So you need to be taking shelter as well. You're at the outer edge of this, but we've got the circulation tracked on radar, and that is coming your way into Whiteside County as this progresses east a little bit farther. 5:38 right now. This warning goes till 5:45, and you know, this lead circulation will be out of the warning box by 5:45. It's actually kind of dropping out right now, but we were talking about that other circulation back off a little farther to the west.
Yeah.
Wondering if that's still there. That was kind of pegging our tornado vortex signature icon.
We're getting reports of damaging winds moving through the Fulton area right now. Again, we've got 70-mile-an-hour winds possible. 70-mile-an-hour winds possible here to the north, Carroll, Clinton, Jackson, and Whiteside counties. And also I want to mention this too, to the south here from Mount Pleasant. I'll kind of point some of these things out here. We've got some additional development here to the south of the metro. We're very concerned about the metro situation. We'll get back to that here in a second. We've got a new severe thunderstorm warning, a little portion there. It's moved into Knox County now, but we still have that Des Moines County, Henry County area we're watching. These storms have to be watched. Wapello, this is moving into Mercer County. Aledo, again, we talked about the folks at the Mercer County Fair. I hope you guys are in shelter right now. That's a serious situation. But again, most notable, most serious situation that we continue to watch is that tornado warning for the metro and that flash flood emergency for the Metro Quad Cities. Again, and I'm going to mention this too to our booth, if we've got a crew that can go to River Drive and 2nd Street, guarantee we're going to see some ponding on roadways there. And look at how much more, look at all that back building with rain, Eric. I mean, that's going to be a big situation here, especially along the Wapsie and areas, Duck Creek. You folks in those low-lying areas, look at that. I mean, that's only been, what, less than an hour
Yeah,
that's
less
moved
than an
through.
hour,
We're already seeing maybe 3 inches of rainfall.
All right, and as we go back to radar, so we just want to put this into motion and give you kind of a review of what's going on. Obviously, the heavy rain in the metro, lots of lightning, even the chance for some hail now moving through the Metro Quad Cities. But as we were looking at the radar just a moment ago, there's that little severe thunderstorm warning for portions of northern Henderson, Warren County and southern Mercer County. This is the storm that we were talking about getting up to Galesburg, and it certainly has just kind of edged those areas there with a little bit of wind, maybe some small hail. But again, active severe thunderstorm warning, Mount Pleasant area over into southern Louisa County, northern Des Moines County. Look at the heavy rain, but also look at these hail cores, so that's going to complicate things as well. I do want to say, yes, we still have to get all of this through our Illinois counties, but look back to the west.
Yeah,
how Exact Track pretty much had this. This is still some heavy rain, but the disorganization is starting to show. So it's really the leading edges, and even down here, we're starting to propagate some more thunderstorms towards southeast Iowa. As these move east, these certainly could be strong, just like last night. These are going to be tapping into some warm, humid air, and they will probably energize themselves from that. But once, at least for our northwestern Illinois counties, once we can get this batch through, we should start to see things at least go down a little bit in terms of severity or severe potential. So there's Joe Daviess County. Galena now just getting a shower. The heavy thunderstorms off to the east. Still a lot of Carroll County to go. About half of Carroll County inundated with rain right now. Dry spots are going to start filling with rain. Whiteside County, we've got that heavy storm activity moving in as well. So I wouldn't necessarily trust these times, but there you go. Joslyn, Freeport, Prophetstown, you know who you are. Right up the I-88 corridor. These are towns that are going to be impacted next. And as we drop into Henry County, Geneseo down toward Cambridge. This might take a little while, and Kewanee as well, but there are the showers and thunderstorms destined for you. Lightning, hail, very heavy rain, and also some very strong winds as well.
Okay, and we got the, we have somebody just sent me a message that they just saw the rotation, say strong rotation going over the river in LeClaire. So we got to let the National Weather Service know that, because
I've
they
got
need to get that extended.
Yeah, we've got a word here from the rotation that's currently over LeClaire has weakened. It is going to the east with a cell surge and more likely wind coming on behind it, but they are still keeping an eye on that tornado
if
threat.
You can, well, let's message them and let them know that we've got, because we got a trained spotter who just texted me and said they're noting this strong circulation over the river. So
and you know, while you're doing that, I can the water that we can hear pounding on our roof right now. leads me to think that flash flooding, although we already have that warning here in the Metro Quad cities, and again, kind of jumps here quicker because what are we sitting on? We're sitting on top of all this concrete and asphalt, and that's why the water doesn't really soak in right away. It finds the low spots and it gets there quickly, especially outside our front or back door here on Brady Hill, especially down toward Perry Street or Pershing too. We get the water rushing down those streets, and I can tell you from coming into work today at the base of those streets on 4th Street, a lot of chunks of blacktop that came off last night as that water was rushing down those roads, and we're probably going to have another bunch of areas get a little bit more washed out tonight as we're seeing that very heavy rain coming through the Davenport and the metro in waves. One wave now to the east, one wave now right over us, and again some more circulations or odd winds with this system.
Yeah, I don't think anything. I think this. Yeah, that's just an anomaly, but might be a surge of winds. Well, I think that's just something weird going on there with the radar. But
it could be out there.
Yeah, I got to watch that. But I want to back things up here because again, we do have. I want to mention this tornadic area. The tornadic portion does still continue here. We've got reports from a spotter who said that just moved over the LeClaire area, but I'm not noticing. It does look like that has weakened.
Right.
So that report came in just a few minutes ago, but we could have some additional, I'd say, near the Isle of Capri. Look at this little pocket of rotation right over top of the 74 bridge. I'm going to point the camera there, and I doubt we see anything. Actually, can we go to, holy cow, look at this. Go to the Bettendorf camera. I think it's on Max 2. Yeah, look at this. Eric, let's take that. Let's take Max 2 as quickly as we can because we've got this tail cloud. We got winds whipping around here in multiple directions. Look at that. That's impressive. So we're looking at that. That's the I think the southern edge of this circulation here. But wow, that is still impressive. We're still holding on to some of the characteristics that we see in these supercell storms that do produce tornadoes. Not so much your typical damaging wind look here. This is more of a tornadic look because you get those low kind of tubular clouds there. There, actually. Look at that. That might be that circulation that we're noticing on radar.
I don't really see, from this vantage point, I don't really see any rotation, but obviously it's far in the distance there, but we're certainly getting the swirling winds around the system anywhere you happen to be. By the way, if we go to reflectivity here, let me, while you're looking at that, let me.
Yeah, we'll go, you got that there? Okay, and while we're doing this, let's go to meteorologist, First Alert meteorologist Deanna Rodriguez, who's joining us now. And Deanna, you're out there, I think you're in East Moline right now, or where are you at right now seeing all this nasty weather moving through?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Okay, yeah, so right now Molly and I, we're driving along 80 and we're experiencing some rain. I guess not the heavier part. We are trying to beat the storm. You can see there out in the distance, a little bit of the wall there ahead of the storm. But again, we're on the, the west, we're on the east side. Yeah. So we're on the east side of the Mississippi River, and all that action is happening on the west side of the Mississippi River. But we are headed towards Erie, and I wouldn't be surprised if, we do experience some of those winds. But right now it's just raining here. We can kind of feel those winds, but not as yet. Again, we're really ahead of the stronger part of the storm. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do encounter it here in the next couple of minutes or so. But right now, again, we're doing pretty good, at least here. For now. Yeah,
good. Okay, Deanna, thank you so much. We're
just
continuing to watch.
The Big X there.
Yeah, just went through the Big X. This is the area. It's bearing down on you guys. So get ready, Deanna and crew. I think Mike Ortiz with her as well. So we can clear them up. And I want to go back to. To this here, Eric. That reflectivity shot. Actually, let's go back to the Bettendorf camera. I got visual on that lowering here. You can see it back there. It's just, through the clouds. This is that area of circulation here on the front end of that line. So just looking east, this is on 53rd, probably east-northeast here is where I've got this pointed. Some weak circulation there on the front end of that. We still could be seeing, tornado potential, but right now it does appear that this is turning into a damaging wind.
Yeah, that would be east-southeast from the Bettendorf camera.
So, okay, that would still be looking at that area that we were watching for maybe some rotation here. I'll go back into that and look. So, yeah, there's still some little pockets there, I think, that need to be watched. We'll put I'll do this, and it's probably right there, right along the river here towards like the Isle area, maybe Riverdale.
Yeah, because that's Arsenal Island right there in the lower left of the Quad Cities sign, Riverdale. Yeah, it could be a little bit of rotation.
Something happening there. Metro still, I'm looking at the Metro cam here, and gosh, we are still dealing with some very impressive winds and rain. I'm going to switch this around real quick here. If we want to go back to the radar, I've got sky view pointed in that direction. We've got a little bit of a visual on it here, starting to kind of clear that clutter, but I'll go back to that here in a minute. And looking at this, Eric, here, I want to get back up to the north here where we still have those destructive wind potential. And you can see here moving through the Clinton area right now, getting reports of some damaging winds in and around the Clinton area. Fulton also, it looks like the damaging winds are coming down a little bit in that area. That's some good news. But it looks like right now, I think the core of this is this area here to the south. That's the core of the significant winds that we are seeing right over top of us here in the Metro Quad Cities, heading towards Geneseo. The Big X is, we have that crew out there that we'll be dealing with. But look at this. This is going to be a big, dangerous situation with the flooding.
Yeah, more flood warnings farther west. We'll see if these progress east to keep up with this line, depending on the amount of rain we've had in some of these spots. But I would assume that more, I don't want to do the Weather Service job for them by any means, but I would assume that there would be some more flash flood warnings farther to the north where that rain is really heavy. New severe thunderstorm warning here, and let's see. I'm not going to be able to run this.
Yep, I got you here.
Okay.
I got Max 2. I do have. Just to let them know I've got that, and you can see that's that area of some broad circulation and kind of that sharp edge there that we watch for.
All right, so we have got this new severe thunderstorm warning. This is going to be for Iowa in Des Moines and Louisa County, across the river, Mercer and Rock Island County. Again, standard severe thunderstorm warning here. Nothing too suspicious, but we're dealing obviously with heavy rain. But 60-mile-per-hour winds, inch diameter hail, and this is moving to the northeast fairly clearly here. And so if you're in Aledo, looks like your weather will deteriorate shortly here. Minneapolis getting some heavy rain. Wapello in and out of the heavy to moderate rainfall intensity. And this is again what we're going to be noticing here as we go into the at least early evening, maybe the middle of the evening, as we get showers and thunderstorms forming more to the south and then covering in turn our southern counties. So this warning will go till 6:45, and after that we'll still be dealing with more showers and thunderstorms to cover our southeastern viewing area farther into Illinois. And there you can see that scattering of storms developing even farther south. These all have to feed into the area. Plenty of lightning involved, heavy rain, so be on the lookout for these. Even if your area is not under a warning, we've got some of these straggler cells. So if the weather turns in your area, please do take shelter. There's a little bit of possible rotation trying to get organized, not too organized right now though. There you go, north of New London, south, east of Winfield, west of Minneapolis.
Yeah, I want to go back to the Metro though, because we continue with some pockets of rotation.
Tornado warning expired at 5:45.
It did expire, I think, too. Yeah, but I'm still seeing some gusty winds nonetheless. I want to mention this is a flash flood emergency for the Metro. If we've got a crew that can go down to that area we mentioned here, which is, I'm going to tell you, it's going to be River Drive in second. We've got a crew on the way. Perfect. Once we get them there and get an idea of what we have going on, we will pass that along and let you know here. But I'm noticing here one good sign is this is crossing the river, Eric. It does appear that the winds might be coming down a little bit, and it looks a little bit more cluttered here to the north. But unfortunately, the most significant of this storm, we might be seeing some additional development here into southern Rock Island County. That is where what looks to me to be the heaviest right now is, but we got to watch that area near Buffalo. Looks like it might be trying to tighten. I'll put the velocity scope on that. We could be seeing something there trying to
way toward. So there you go. That could be interesting. There's another burst of wind on the west side of Davenport. By the way, if you have been taking shelter and you're coming out of shelter now and you're thinking there's some damage that you might have to survey, just don't do it yet. We're still dealing with heavy rain and, most importantly, a lot of lightning with these cells. So going outside right now under these storms is not a good idea by any means. These will pass by later this evening for some of you farther west, early to mid-evening for some of you farther east later this evening. But just give this round of storms a few hours to get out of here before you go out and survey any damage that you might have, because we're still dealing with lightning, and that is the #1 killer along with flooding.
And torrential rainfall. I mean, look at, if we could take that sky view shot, it's not great, but the one thing you could see here is, as I got this, I was kind of looking around to see if we got any flooded streets, and you could just see the tremendous amount of rain that's falling out of this, and all that water flowing down Brady Street. But look at this, I mean, just huge, heavy raindrops, heavy rain, and gusty winds too moving through. But I bet you River Drive here is a mess. And so you folks we gotta understand that this is not just a tornado and damaging wind threat. This is also a significant flash flooding threat as well.
Here, I'll show you where to. Did you have the
right
camera?
Here. Yep.
I'd go over here and see if we can zoom into I think Pershing here and see if we can see any water. Oh, that's the roof. Okay, forget about that.
We might be able to see here. Bear with us, folks.
Because we usually have white water coming down Pershing and sometimes Perry right here behind the station, and that's most likely what we've had today.
I can confirm that there is some flooding going on downtown Davenport. We just had one of our crews drive through there, and they said that there's some water gathering in the streets.
Okay,
so.
yeah. Anything else? Did they tell us anything else?
No, they just made it safely back to the station.
Okay, well, that is good. That is good, because we've had a lot of rough weather today. And again, here in the metro, we are dealing with some very heavy rain. As a matter of fact, okay, you're dealing with sky.
Yep, I can
so
get you.
I can't really do radar.
That's okay. I got you here, and that. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a new warning here we do have a new warning here. We'll get the information on this for the Moline area. I know you're kind of looking like, oh, well, nothing's happening there. It's going to happen here momentarily, and you can see our crews are driving in this as well. Nasty storm, no doubt. Severe thunderstorm warning located along a line from the Parkview area down all the way to the Sunny Hill Estates. This is moving east at 50, so it's picking up speed here. Reports of hail off Kimberly, so we're getting hail reports as well with this, just to pass that along. But right now we're holding on to that threat for 70-mile-an-hour winds with this. So if you're in the Moline area, Rock Island too, and we have to watch because this looks very suspicious to me here to the west of Rock Island, approaching the Milan, the Beltway area here, approaching Milan too. Right now, severe thunderstorm warning, but again, the potential is there for some tornadic activity.
That little notch there east of Buffalo, west of Rock Island, and that is moving right toward Interstate 80. Interstate 280. There's the casino in that vicinity right there too at the intersection of that and 92. So yeah, it's still a situation here where we need you to be taking shelter if you're anywhere in or near the metro because of the storms coming through. Kate, you have something for us?
Just within the past, 25, 30 minutes, we've seen the Iowa power outages nearly double. Right now in the Iowa Quad Cities, there's 10,511 customers without power. Right now, according to Mid-American Energy, on the Illinois side, only 33. So we could see that change, but right now it looks like the Illinois Quad Cities, a lot of people still do have power.
Yeah, and I want to mention too, we've got other areas affected by this, and I'm going to back out here. Eric is working on getting some updates too, and we've got dark skies. We've got friends in Prophetstown telling us that, hey, this is really starting to darken up there. You folks in the Prophetstown area down towards Tampico, Joslin, Kelowna, you are in the threat for significant damaging winds as well. This is the area right over top of the metro through the center part of the viewing area here, just to the north of the I-80 corridor is the area that continues to support the 70-plus-mile-an-hour winds. On top of that, we've got this flash flood emergency that's happening here in the metro Quad Cities. Again, considerable damage threat on that. So not only considerable damage, but considerable potential with this as well.
Yeah, I wonder what the rainfall amounts are at this point.
To
I was going to go see if we could get some information.
Speaking of the Illinois Quad Cities, we just saw that power outage number really hop up. We have 266 customers from the 33. So we are seeing those power outages come in on the Illinois side.
No surprise there, folks. So again, as the power does go out, we have you covered. We're streaming all over the place here, folks. So please take us with you as you head to the basement on social media, on our news apps, and on our website. Right now, this is over the last 24 hours, but this is going to show you just how significant especially this Walcott area.
Yeah, that's right over the Jamboree too.
Yeah,
the Truckers Jamboree. Jamboree, which of course has been canceled. It was canceled before the storms rolled in, thankfully this afternoon. We're about to transition into the evening now at the 6 o'clock hour. You're watching KWQC TV6 Davenport, Iowa. Live storm coverage of a patchwork of storms and warnings across the QCA. We're down to mostly just severe thunderstorm warnings at this point that are not taking too much consideration into some of the wind speeds until you get farther north, where you see those different colors. But again, the leading edge of the strongest winds right here at this point are anywhere from northern Carroll County down through western Whiteside County. And there you can see Joslyn. This is going to be getting us into Henry County, Illinois. You areas still have to be affected, have yet to be affected by the heavy rain, also the wind. Still the possibility of circulation. Now, as we look at the leading edge, though, getting a little bit more ragged, and you see the lessening intensity of those deep reds, which means the intensity of the rain is starting to wane a little bit as these continue to move from west to east. And that is usually the case, not always, but usually. It seems like the Quad Cities area is the place where these things come to kind of die. And I'm not saying that these don't have any strength left in them by any means, but the rainfall on this leading edge, much less intense as it approaches Illinois than it was when it approached our Iowa counties coming out of central and eastern Iowa just a few hours ago. But still, even here at the studio, I can still hear the rain. It is coming down, as you might like to say, in buckets or raining cats and dogs. Here we continue to watch that flooding warning, that flash flood warning here for the metro, as we are just piling more rain on top of the amounts that we had last night. We'll go to the desk. Here's Kate Kopatovich.
Yes. Yeah, we just got a Facebook message from a viewer, Bethany Kelly, and she says she's on West 68th Street in Northwest Davenport with her street just completely flooded. So like you just said, Eric, you know, obviously lots of rain.
Yeah, and I'm getting viewer photos here too of Eric. Look at this, and we'll get this off to the desk. But this is trying to figure out where this is. Yeah, there's that. I want to mention too, real quick, we've got concerns growing here in Mercer County of developing circulations here. I'm gonna poke around here with velocity, and again, velocity, they're broad, but they're there. So we'll have to watch this. I'm not seeing, maybe west of Aledo, there are little pockets of rotation. If we can come back out here to the desk, I want to show you what we're watching here with this. And you can see we've got a couple pockets of circulation. New Boston just to your east. I feel like this area just seems like a month ago that we were talking tornadoes move through this area. Aledo, the Mercer County Fair, I'm sure they've moved folks into shelter. We're going to watch this very closely here as we continue on here throughout the next several minutes and continue to see these storms move through. That video, we got some reports of flooding near the fairgrounds, and I'll get to see what fairgrounds we're talking about there. The flooding situation, I think, is going to continue to compile and be a significant threat here over the next several hours. Again, I want to make it very clear, if you folks live in an area that is flood prone, specifically here in the Metro Quad Cities, up to Clinton too, I'm still concerned about you folks up there. Now is the time. You have to take this seriously and react fast, because it happens fast. And what we'll probably see here too is a big rise in our rivers with all this rain. We've got more storms all the way back out to the west here. So right now, Eric, here's kind of the wide view. Look at this, all this back building here, really along I-80. It goes all the way down towards Ottumwa, and that's all has to move through our area. Yeah, very dangerous situation setting up here.
Yeah, and you can see that none of these are severe, but look at those reds. This is just more heavy rain that will be piling onto the area. Again, pretty typical with this situation we had earlier, and we still have a few. The isolated storms, they pack a punch. Usually those are the ones that can produce the most tornadoes and the largest hail. These have been moving to the north and kind of bumping in and congealing with this line. As you can see, the strong winds on the leading edge, and that's where the warnings are, right along and ahead of the leading edge of this line of storms here, which is producing the strongest winds. And that's pretty typical, because now you get behind that leading edge, and now we're just talking about rain. Now, a lot of times we'd see things starting to dry up after that that leading edge goes through, but not in this situation. We still have a very moist atmosphere, and that means that even well behind the line, anything that's forming, anything that's even got an ounce of strength is going to come together, and you see those reds, that means all that humidity that you've been dreading and having to get through over the last few days is now going to be translating into rainfall, and these rainfall amounts at times with any storm could be 1 to 2 inches per hour. So by the time these things pass, give it a couple hours or so, and you're looking at the possibility of 2 to 4 inches of rain. And that's what we already had on some spots last night, especially farther north. But again, here we go again, and we're dealing with a few stronger thunderstorms. Again, this warning here that you see for areas south and west of the Quad Cities, our flood warning continues. Now this goes till 9 o'clock. Will it be canceled before that? Probably, but again, a lot of drainage has to take place, and it's kind of a tougher place to drain with all the asphalt and the concrete on our ground here. Now you see with the winds picking up south of the metro, I wonder if we can query those and see what we're looking at there, Kyle, because this could be another blast of wind behind that leading edge.
Yes, we've got a new warning here. I'm getting the info on, and I bet you it is going to be for that. I bet you, I wonder if we've gone, let's see here. We're going to get the info.
Coming. Here's the box.
60-mile-an-hour winds, quarter-sized hail on that. I'll back it up, and that's going to be pretty much for the entirety of Henry County. But we saw this, Eric, we remember last year, July 15th, it's so, we were just talking about this before we went on. It is eerily similar to what we saw here July 15th, and that was the night before we had that scattered severe weather event, and then that derecho moved through the next day, and it was in this same area almost to a T. Once it got into Henry County, it went boom, and we had 100-mile-an-hour winds. We had tornadoes that developed too. We have to continue to watch that. The tornado threat is not over. We're just not seeing any circulations right now, but what we are seeing is an outflow wind here that is strengthening. It is, and that's going to impact the Quad Cities too. We're not out of the woods here in the Metro Quad Cities. While we are, we got a new update to that flash flood emergency too. I'm gonna get info on that.
Got major flooding on Ripley Street, about a foot of water up against the buildings there.
Okay.
I also got a report on West High Street in Davenport. Cars' tires are about halfway covered by water.
So there you go, folks. We have, again, it's a 1-2 punch here. We got the damaging storms moving through right now. And I would say, and I want to mention too, you folks to the north here, we're talking the Clinton and Savannah area. The reason we haven't been talking as much about that is the storm has really weakened. We continue with those warnings though, but you folks up to the north here, north of the, let's say north of Highway 30, the threat has weakened pretty significantly, but very heavy rainfall is certainly on the table. It is almost exclusively, I would say, Rock Island and Mercer counties right now, Aaron.
Well,
do you want to query that once?
Oh, yeah.
Also, guys,
go ahead, Kate.
The Mercer County Fair, one viewer tells us that they've closed everything at 3 p.m. today, and that they are rescheduling their events for noon on Sunday. Of course, we'll try to verify that with the fair, but yeah.
All right,
update there.
Maybe some winds there, west of preemption up to 60 to 70 miles per hour. Probably looking at that same thing in the West Metro as well. As you look north of Milan, we've got that little area of yellow, which indicates strong winds coming into the Metro Quad City. So that on top of the heavy rain that we've had and that tornado that we had earlier, just all kinds of things going on this Friday. Okay, we're going to 2nd Street in Davenport now. This is a live driving shot, and there you can see we're looking west down 2nd Street with the U.S. Bank, and the Figgy would be just off to your left there, as you can see. Visibility not great, but there's power. You can see the traffic lights on, and you can see some those winds blowing the top of that rain that's piled up on the road there. Not a lot of rain, but or not a lot of water. But it's interesting, if you look to the right there, you can see it kind of coming down. That would be Main Street, I believe, kind of coming down and just spreading out as it hits 2nd Street, downtown Davenport on the right side of your screen, and the Metro Quad Cities on the left side of your screen. We're looking at some high winds moving on in, and the storms that are continuing to move on in as well, wave after wave. So this is another wave after our initial wave brought that tornado to Davenport, and there you can see the second wave here with, again, very high amounts of rain, not only per hour, but total accumulations, which will probably, in your backyard rain gauge, top 3, maybe approach 4 inches, if not a little bit more, especially if you haven't emptied it out since last night.
And I appreciate everybody sending videos to us. We've got a lot of stuff we're going to be sharing. So we do. I've got in my messages here, and I'll get to it. As we were looking at that tornadic storm that moved through, tornado-producing storm, I do have viewers who are sending me video of that tornado. They're confirming that that tornado did move through exactly where we had it. So right now, again, I think while we still have some damaging wind threat that I'm going to dive to the south here, the flash flood emergency, it is an emergency situation. This is going to be a very dangerous night for you folks in low-lying areas. We've got already feet of water on places like Ripley Street. We're talking River Drive and 2nd. This is a serious situation. So yeah, it is really becoming a dangerous situation here. You can see, look at this next round. I mean, you cannot see anything here on our Rock Island camera that you see there. Look at that, is pointed to the Centennial Bridge. I feel really bad for those people driving over it. Not a fan of that. Would be pretty miserable there.
Well,
but,
yeah, and just a few moments ago, obviously we can see with that next wave moving in that the threat of wind and hail kind of rising again for the Quad City metro area. At least the wind and the heavy rain is taking another spike with that band that's moving through right now. And again, there you see plentiful lightning, which is another reason why, even if you think you have damage that you want to survey, it is not the time to do it. Even if you're wearing 3 raincoats, people stay inside until these lightning-producing storms pass by.
Yeah, and I want to mention too, I mentioned earlier about that Aledo area. There is a circulation that is very weak. That wouldn't be anything I would issue a tornado warning for, at least at this time. I know, so mentioned it, it's weekend. What we have to watch though is what typically happens. You see how southeast of Aledo now, looks like it's trying to kind of get a little bit of an indentation there, heading towards the 67, maybe into northwestern Knox County. All along this line now, the threat area is really going to be from the Quad City metro area, maybe just to the north, we'll say Clinton-Scott County line. From that point all the way south here, let's say Mediapolis, where we have that warning, and all to the east here. So what I'm going to do is, this thing is definitely the variability from north to south on the speed. It's kind of interesting. And I want to get down here to Louisa County momentarily because it looks like we have developing circulation, strong circulation there. But the times of arrivals are on your screen, folks. Kelowna, you have less than a minute here before you need to be in your shelter. Before this hits, actually, you need to be in your shelter now. Joslyn 617, Geneseo 624. This will impact Atkinson 635, Galva 647 into the Galesburg, Knox County area here after 650. Looking at the top of the hour into Bureau County around 7 o'clock here. Princeton looking at just past 7 o'clock as well on that. But I'm growing concerned here. Wow, look at that. Just southwest of Mediapolis. This is an area who's very interesting deal here because we've seen areas along this line from the Mount Pleasant area into Louisa County where we would see these little spikes of rotation. And we had Parker, one of our spotters out there kind of watching it, and he noticed that rotation too. It would get going, and I think at times it was kind of on the fence of a tornado warning, and then it would weaken. So we'll have to see what happens here. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see maybe a warning with this just based on the location of it. But look at that. I mean, there's all these little pockets of rotation here. Nonetheless, we got damaging winds, so Mediapolis, you go, take your tornado precautions. It wouldn't be a bad thing. Going back up to the north.
I'm kind of wondering about that. I mean, let's go to Muscatine, though. Here's some damage from one of our viewers. We've got trees down. I'm sure a lot of the area looks like this, considering some of the wind speeds that we've been chalking up. I'm wondering about that radar shot, because, again, that radar, we call it attenuation. It's going through a lot of very heavy rain. So is this something that we're seeing that's reality, or something that's kind of a miscue on the radar because that beam is struggling to get through all that heavy rain? So I'm not so sure about that yet. And one thing you can kind of see coming in here is you almost saw it. Yeah, go back there, right there. Perfect. Watch this little, right there, that little blast of wind coming in. That's kind of undercutting, as Kyle, I believe you were mentioning before. This is going to kind of undercut some of the storms that are coming into our area. So that might be a bit of a help for us. Although as we, again, look south, new warning, but this is at the top of that warning, so I'm sure what they've warned as well to the southwest, or what they warned for, because we do have more storms coming in, obviously, and we've been talking about that. They're going to grow pretty quickly in northeast Missouri and then move their way from to the northeast up here into our viewing area.
Yeah, bouncing around here too. Again, we've been talking about this area. I'm continuing to grow concerned about this because we talk about that attenuation. I mean, the radar is punching through quite a bit. It is energy based. But that is, I'm telling you folks right now, here's your first alert, Pleasant Grove. Mediapolis, Sperry might be a small town or a little township there, Sperry Road area, Pleasant Grove Road. It looks like this is over top of Pleasant Grove right now. This is a heightened circulation, and this is what we see. I mean, it's not a large tornado if it is anything here, but what we were noticing here is we've got the inbound and outbound winds. Green here, the lighter the color, the stronger the wind. It's moving towards the radar, which radar is up here into the Quad Cities. Okay, the yellow is strong, I mean, damaging winds moving away from the radar. You get that kind of that sink drain effect there, that rotation that is noticeable. So we got, again, green kind of punching, and you kind of see it. Look at that, Eric. So it's like that, and then we're kind of getting, so I wouldn't be surprised if in this area we do have a pending tornado or possible tornado on the ground. If you're in Pleasant Grove over towards Mediapolis, I would go ahead and take your tornado precautions right now.
All right, so as we take a look at this, and again, this is to give you a perspective. There's Mediapolis and then Pleasant Grove, southwest of Mediapolis. If we come out a little bit farther, and then we can kind of get that whole warning into perspective as we zoom into or zoom out of southeast Iowa there. Okay, there you go. Go a little north. I want to see this warning here. Those are the southern warning. So we'll move up.
Oh, move.
Yeah, there we go.
I think
There we go.
I think our ups and downs are a little bit different. But
All right. Well, and then nonetheless, here is Henry County. What you see here, that's the storm that's moving into this warning box. So if you're in Henry County, especially Mount Pleasant South, and then west of Burlington, even west of West Burlington, where that warning does come into play for Des Moines County, you are under severe thunderstorm warning now. And again, there we've got that cell that's coming over Farmington, and you just popped a marker on there. So yeah, there's some rotation possible with that one, and that is why, or hail, I should say, and so that's why this warning has been issued. And again, that's another one of these individual storms that will continue to move northeast, and eventually, as you see everything farther west just kind of building to the south, kind of absorbed by the main band of what we're now calling the main band of rain-producing storms, because again, the leading edge is farther east, so now we're concerned more about the rain farther to the west. But again, we're still getting these individual storms coming in from southeast Iowa as they originate in northeast Missouri and eventually west central Illinois as well. So that's why we're a little bit concerned with the continuation of our severe weather event right through the middle of the evening by the time this starts to get close to clearing out of the TV6 viewing area. So there's our latest warning: Des Moines, Henderson, Lewis, and Mercer County. This goes till 6:45. Again, at this point, it's a standard severe thunderstorm warning, warned for potential of 60-mile-per-hour winds and hail an inch in diameter. Also the lightning. We've got the activity now well across the Aledo area into now eastern Mercer County, along and east of Highway 67, and then down south as well. There's Wapello, and more wind speeds picking up here by Winfield, as you can see. And those are now some of the more concerning things that we're looking at as we're transitioning here from the intense leading edge of these storms, still keeping the heavy rain threat and now the wind threat on a isolated basis. But there you go, 60-mile-per-hour winds, and that is pretty typical with these storms.
Yeah,
that thunder?
That is.
Sounded like somebody dropped a bowling ball on the roof. Wow.
It did. Here's my concern, and I've reached out. We're going to see if the Weather Service is seeing something different here, but you notice this, and we don't explain this, I think, enough, but the wind speed is what we usually pay attention to. We very rarely pay attention to the shear, but what I'm noticing here is look at that shear right there where we got green matched up to the red. That shear, that would be a tornado or potential circulation. Takes into consideration several things. 92 mile an hour, that's an EF1 tornado, or EF0 approaching EF1 tornado there. It'd do damage. So watch that. We'll have to watch that. There is no active warning for this portion of Louisa County, but I'm telling you folks, in Wapello, here near the Caro area, which might be a township, we do have, unfortunately, in these rural communities, rural counties that we cover, we do get these areas that we get some of these townships to pop up here. But Wapello, Route 61 here, over top of County Road G62 and approaching County Road X37 in Louisa County, there is circulation there being noted. But on top of that, damaging wind potential too. We'll go up the line here and see, and so we'll watch for a warning or any updates there. We continue with this. Okay, let's. Okay. We're not going to go to that. This is, folks, I'm telling you right now, I've never seen this before. This is an emergency
Yeah.
Stay with us here right now. This is as serious as it gets. This is even more significant than what we were talking. This is a flash flood emergency for Davenport. This is from the National Weather Service. Local law enforcement report many roads flooded in and near Davenport, including main thoroughfares, as well as first floors of buildings starting to flood quickly. Between 1.5 and 3 inches of rain have fallen. Additional rain amounts of 1 to 2.5 inches are possible. This is a flash flood emergency for Davenport. This is a particularly dangerous situation. You need to seek higher ground now. This is a life-threatening and potentially deadly situation. Law enforcement are confirming this. This is again, particularly dangerous situation. You're in a life-threatening situation. Eric, I don't think have we ever seen this before here? I don't think so.
Not for Davenport.
I don't think really for any of our catastrophic. It's tagged catastrophic,
yeah.
Which that is, I've never
I thought we had one last night.
We had a considerable last night.
Oh, considerable to catastrophic. Okay, well, definitely this is much more concerning. And if we had rainfall amounts,
I'll put that on.
see if we can see those spike over Davenport. But yeah, that's the problem, and it continues. Our rain continues, and there you see it. It really hasn't let up. So this has been a couple of hours now that we've been getting these showers, at least a solid hour plus here in the Metro Quad cities. And as we take a look at the 1 hour rainfall, or these are the totals for.
This is 1 hour.
This is 1 hour.
I just changed that table because it gets a little bit better view of some of those areas that we can.
Yep, I agree. And there we can see where not only do we have things spiking here, but even covering or hugging the Mississippi and just away from the Mississippi where we get higher up. We all drive up Brady Hill right outside of our station. So we go from the river to the higher elevations, I-74. Once you get between Davenport and Bettendorf, you're going up. And this is what happens. We get the heavy rain here atop the hilltops, atop the bluffs. I know we probably loosely call them bluffs around here in the Quad Cities because they're certainly more prominent north on the Mississippi, say starting in Savannah. But here they are bluffs, and once we get all that rain up on top of them, it has nowhere else to go but right down into town here. So that's why we're getting those reports of the couple feet of water standing around Davenport now, getting into buildings. So again, flooding emergency, life-threatening situation. This is probably why we're getting this alert. And yeah, that's what it was for. Catastrophic flooding now occurring in parts of Davenport. So if you are obviously, hopefully you're not in one of those locations right now, but if you are close to one or know of one or have one nearby, get to higher ground now. Just consider even the fact that you might not have seen that flooding before. If you are near a low-lying area, a flood-prone area, we've got a catastrophic flooding event happening right now here in the Quad Cities. We've heard about it nationally lately. Now this is ours, and we need you to get to higher ground ASAP if you are in a threatened area.
Yeah, and I want to mention here too, I want to talk to, you folks in Davenport, we have those River Drive. If you're on River Drive right now, and I'll get those boxes cleared here.
Look at that, wow.
People are driving through it. You cannot drive through this, folks.
Watch the next car that goes through. If there is one, you'll see the water coming up. That is a great shot.
We've got a lot of flooding happening too in the northwest side of Davenport too.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get out of that way. Look at that.
Yeah, let's go. Let's take that photo. Where was this at again, Brady? 30th and wow, yeah. Okay, look at this, folks.
Yeah, but even that, back to the sky view shot, my concern is those people were heading toward the little dip that goes underneath the Arsenal Bridge. And that's, you go
move that over
underneath
that way,
the Arsenal Bridge. I don't know if you're going to see it. It's probably blocked by buildings. But look at the water that's piling up there. And if they go under that little dip, that's the dam there. But if you go farther, you'll get to the bridge. And hopefully nobody's getting stuck under there because the water away from that dip is pretty high. I mean, that was some incredible street flooding that we're seeing those cars having to go through there. Yeah, we're not really, maybe a little farther to the left. We're not probably going to see the cars going under, but
this is 3rd Street here. Yeah. But, we're starting to see that water pile up, though. Looking here, it's not
right along there.
But here's what happened yesterday, though, Eric. This area was impacted about 20, 30 minutes after the fact, and I think that's because it all comes down Brady and Harrison and Perry and Pershing streets, and it just sits right in downtown Davenport.
Well, we can turn the thing like that and take a look at Brady Street or even Perry Street behind the station.
You're going to see like a waterfall. Ohio Avenue. Oh, let's take it. Ohio Avenue north of. Oh my gosh! Look at that. Holy cow!
Gee whiz.
Let's get a crew out there ASAP. If Beth, if you can hear me, let's get people out there. And I'm going to say this too, folks, and this is something that we talked about all day long today. If we've got any TV6 staff that are watching, this is one of those situations. We need everybody that can come in because this is going to be a major event. And probably will pale in comparison to that we talked about, that 1990 flood too.
Yeah, and speaking about that, can we get that camera up that's along Duck Creek? There's a camera, I think, at Duck Creek and Middle Road in Bettendorf.
I bet you're gonna
I'd
see
like to
some
see that,
amazing
or
flooding.
see the Brady Street crossing on Duck Creek. We're working on the bridge there recently. It's all done now, but I'm not sure if they have a camera that's active there, but if we could get one of those Duck Creek cameras, would love to see that, because that's kind of a litmus of what else is going on around the metro in terms of flooding.
And this is not over. I mean, this is a serious situation, folks, because we've got, oh my gosh, look at all that back building.
Back building down here. And at the rate that that's back building, that is going to be spreading out through southeast Iowa. How's it moving? Northeast, right into the metro Quad Cities. So our flooding problems are going to be continuing right on through the evening. If last night you had some flooding issues, they're coming back tonight, and maybe even a little bit worse, because there are fewer places for the rain to go, because the ground has become so saturated on these 2 days of rain with this intense rainfall.
Yeah, 35th Street, Davenport, we've got something going on there. Oh my gosh,
some of these flood waters up to these apartment buildings.
Okay, wow, this is so impressive, folks. And
oh, wow,
this is not over. This is only the beginning of it, and that's what I'm super concerned with here.
If there's a way we can show that picture, because we've got what's called the garden level of these apartment buildings. You know, that's the one that's kind of a half under the ground, half above the ground. Those are flooded.
We'll go ahead and reach out to them and see if they can send us that.
Okay, you folks, if you're in these areas, you have to evacuate. If you're in an apartment building like that, or say you're in the basement level or a garden level, that's a good, you need to move up. You need to get to the second floor now. It's too late to evacuate, unfortunately, I think, if you're in some of these areas. Yeah. We saw what's happening there. You can't, once that water gets into the exhaust, I mean, your car's going to die. So you have to take this seriously, folks. This doesn't get much more serious. We've been talking about this, what we've been seeing across the country. That's happening here right now. So if you're in the Davenport area specifically, looks like Davenport is the focus, but too, River Drive, Moline, that is an area that is prone to flooding. Any area that is prone to flooding, you are in a flash flood emergency with catastrophic implications here. The first time I've ever seen our area get tagged with that catastrophic tag there. This is flash flood warning is in effect until 9 p.m. But with all the rain, we have more to come, and all the rain to the north, this is just setting up to be as extreme as it could possibly be here with this flash flood situation.
Yeah, and here's another problem. We've got power outages, so sump pumps aren't working. If your basement is flooding and you've got a power outage, that water is going to continue to pile up because not only has the rain not stopped, but the groundwater is still kind of percolating through. So there could be so many types of problems, from cars to homes to people who might not have the ability to evacuate. So we are, yes, indeed, looking at a major situation, which is why we've got catastrophic on this flash flood warning for the Quad Cities area, the metro area. You know, poor drainage here. Well, this is the city, and we've got a lot of covered ground. We've got creeks that will rise and overflow. There are banks, no place else to go, as a lot of this water heads down toward the Mississippi, and even minor rises in the major rivers here. The Wapsipinicon, the Mississippi, the Rock are likely over the next few days. That is certainly in the forecast. And still, we have some strong winds developing on the leading edge of these storms now that they're settling south of the Quad Cities, getting into these areas that haven't been too affected yet. But there you see in Henry County, those yellows approaching you. So again, stronger, more gusty winds on tap. Eastern Mercer County and northern Mercer County, this is all dropping south. And as these kind of blow out, you also see more storms coming in from the south south and west. As you can see on those boxes there, those warning boxes. If you need to get info, I can do
I am going to do that because we're
radar run here.
Sure. And while you're doing that, real quick, I just want to mention we're getting reports. Did we get a new tornado warning? Oh, that's outside of the viewing area. But
yeah, that's Wisconsin.
We are getting numerous reports of dangerous flash flooding. We're working on, I'm getting a list here together. We're going to break this down here for you momentarily.
Okay, here's the situation as we stand right now. Obviously, the leading edge with the most powerful thunderstorms is starting to clear eastern Iowa. As a matter of fact, it's cleared Joe Davis County now, but your rain still is at least moderate. The heavy stuff, that's all in the red. And with that, we have severe thunderstorm warnings that are now done for Joe Davies and Carroll County. Still a severe thunderstorm warning here for portions of Whiteside County along and north of Interstate 88, really much of the county. This little northwestern portion, which would include Albany and Fulton, you're not included. And as we drop farther south toward the metro, we've got severe thunderstorm warnings that do continue for the Iowa metro quad cities into northern Rock Island County, northern now Bureau County for this line of thunderstorms that's about to clear Henry County, and southern Whiteside County. Okay. Those are severe thunderstorm warnings.
Okay.
And we've got, let me go
guys,
south real quick.
Oh. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I've actually got a TV6 viewer on the phone who is being evacuated from his apartment building right now.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and cue him on. Hey, so you're being evacuated from your apartment building. Where exactly is that apartment at?
It's 1905 West 40th off of Kimberly and Division.
Okay, off of Kimberly and Division. And what are the conditions that you're seeing right now? And you know, how much flash flooding have you gotten in that area?
There's about 2 feet of water right now in our parking lot. It's a brick building. The water is now coming through into all the apartments. The apartment itself is flooding.
Oh, wow.
There is a police car parked outside that's stalled.
Are you near Duck Creek?
No.
Okay, so this is just rain flooding. Wow.
This is impressive.
Wow. And then there's about 3 police cars out here now. One's trying to push the other police car out of the water.
Oh, wow.
They're going door to door now, telling us they're in process of trying to find a shelter, and they're getting a bus in here to get everybody out.
Wow. Okay.
Kevin, our cars are underwater.
Yeah, Kevin, quick question for you. Right now, so you are in this area, they're evacuating. Is there a lot of people that are in the same boat as you that are stranded here?
Yeah, most of the apartments here are pretty full. And I know there's a few disabled people here. They say they're trying to work on getting a bus here and the fire department here to try and evacuate people in the wheelchairs.
Wow.
Impressive. What are you seeing when you look around? Are you outside or inside right now?
Well, right now I'm inside talking to you. I've been outside. It's up to over my ankles. It's up to about halfway up the rim of our cars. It's up to the doors, bottom of the doors of our cars in the parking lot.
Are there any cars that were on the street that were stranded by the floodwaters?
Police officer, yes. Davenport police.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Well, we will definitely follow up with you and have our teams connect with you. And thank you so much, Kevin, for taking the time.
Stay safe, Kevin.
Thank
you so much.
No problem.
Thank you.
Okay, do not travel up North Clark Street. We've got a video that we've got a lot. The information flow right now, I'm going to tell you folks right now, is extraordinary. We have so many reports coming in of evacuations. We've got so many reports of dangerous and life-threatening flash flooding. This is as serious as it gets. We've talked about, we do this all, we go through the flooding situation usually in the springtime. I think Eric's mic is hot there, but I can tell you folks right now with everything that we've seen here over the last several years, this is probably one of the most significant events that we will see. This is going to affect a lot of people, and this is, again, as we mentioned, it happens fast, and here we go. We've got people stranded. We've got evacuations happening for the metro, and unfortunately, I mean, this is I think really the worst case scenario is now setting up for Davenport. If you're watching us anywhere in Davenport at this time and you live in an area that is prone to any type of flooding, basements are going to be flooded. I don't think there's any way around that at this point, especially with the amount of power outages. But look at out here, just west of I-280, another heavy cell is moving in. This is extraordinary. I don't know that we've seen anything like this, probably going back to 1990 with the amount of rain we've seen.
Yeah, just wondering again if we could get the any Duck Creek cameras.
Yeah.
Were we attempting that? Okay, Duck Creek flooding photo coming up here. Let's take a look at that.
While we're waiting for that to pop up, just want to mention we continue with the damaging wind threat here into Henry County. There's one little area here moving through Anawan that's not really severe. It's what we have on the back end of that down towards the Aledo area as well.
All right, yeah, there's Duck Creek, and no big surprise here. You can see that tree out in the probably next to the creek. Normally now it is in the creek, but thankfully this person here has got the advantage of being very high up along that bank there, that berm. This is behind Van's Pizza. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. This would be right down Harrison, south of I think 35th Street is, or in that vicinity, 35th Street. Now, new flood warning.
Yep.
And as you can see, we're going to bring this up. Why don't we bring back the Max one behind me? New flood warning right along the Mississippi River, but it's really for again extreme eastern Clinton County and portions of northeastern Scott County. This goes till 12:30 a.m. and it does cross the river into portions of Rock Island County. There are our current warnings right now. Don't worry about the tornado warning. Our map has priority, so if there's a tornado warning on it, it's going to pick it up. That's in Wisconsin. There is the line of severe thunderstorm warnings cutting through the metro, but again, behind it, the aftermath, flood warnings aplenty, and probably more to come. Okay, Kate Kapatich back at the desk.
So we've got a control booth. If we can take our shot from Deanna Rodriguez and Mike Ortiz, they are in Moline where they're seeing a lot of flooding. So they are out driving around right now. As you can see, here's that shot.
I was a little concerned. I was like, we are going to.
You guys are live right now.
Cars
So
are going really fast.
if we could, I don't
Yeah.
think that they can hear us. But right now,
To keep that shot.
and that's what we don't want you to do.
That's what we don't want you to do.
Because you're going to watch. I mean, they're going to hit this, and there's going to be a low point here. Maybe they hit that, but
you know, they might be getting very lucky because I can see the white lines there on the street, so that water's shallow, but you never know if the road's even going to be there. And you can see it does get deeper where those cars going away from us are making a right turn, and they're just going to spray each other as they pass each other by.
Right. It doesn't take much, too. I mean, you really, those cars can stall pretty easily.
I bet those homes right there might have some flooding going on as well with that deep water. That's
Boy, that's
remarkable.
above the hubcaps on that one. That's above the middle of the wheel.
Yeah.
And that's a pickup truck,
That's
so
in
there is a
Moline, of
deep
course.
spot there, definitely.
Yeah, what part of Moline was this again?
Yeah,
We'll
that is a low spot.
River Drive.
Okay,
River
this is an
Drive.
kind area, very susceptible to flooding
Okay.
along River Drive here. And I want to make this very clear. Can we come back out here? We'll kind of be bouncing back and forth here between these shots, but this is, I'm telling you folks, with this is the worst case scenario for a flood situation for the metro. I mean, you've got a solid shield of 2 to 3 inch rainfall totals. I mean, that's going all the way back into, outside the viewing area here into the Des Moines area. It continues to fill in, and it's moving over the same area. It's moving northeast. So not just Davenport, it's an emergency situation in Davenport. We're getting a lot of evacuations. Okay, so I also mentioned 15th Street A and 21st Avenue in Moline now seeing some dangerous flash flooding. We've got a lot of evacuations happening too, going on right now. Again, the flash flood emergency is our concern. We've got a new flash flood warning that takes in. I mean, this is going to be, I'm going to take, into the warnings here, Eric, and I'm going to just.
Southeast Iowa, where they, wow, look at how big this one is.
I've never seen that before either.
This goes from southern, this goes from Rock Island County into southern Muscatine County, much of Mercer County, and then down the line into Louisa County, even out toward Henry County and Des Moines County, Iowa. This is our new flash flood warning here, and there you get the numbers on it till 12:30 in the morning, 12:30 this coming morning. So a half hour past midnight is where that will go. And I do want to say this once again, as far as flash flood warnings are concerned, most of them, and I'm not going to say this about the catastrophic one that's here in the metro, most of these are set about 6 hours ahead of time, and they usually get canceled about 2, 3, 4 hours later because the drainage has happened. But we've got so much drainage here in the metro to come and so much standing water and flooding that's already occurring and probably will continue to occur that I have no idea when they're actually going to let this catastrophic warning in the metro expire. But don't let those times be too much of a guideline. If you have flooding or if you are in an area with a flood warning, you need to take action if you are in a low-lying or a flood-prone spot. And that means anywhere that, again, is low-lying, anywhere that's near a creek or a stream that can get over its banks. And, you know, one thing about, hubris, I know people are going to drive through floodwaters because they don't think anything bad can happen to them. But here's the thing, even when I have to get from my house in North Davenport to work in the middle of a snowstorm, I've already chosen an alternate route that is high so I don't get any hills or I'm going to slip and slide up and down. If you are having to drive tonight, think about an alternate route. If you go through an area that you heard gets flooding or you've seen gets flooding, think of an alternate route that is higher up to get your destination, because the last thing you want to do is have your car stalled out in water where, who knows at this point, because flooding right now is taking the emergency crews so much effort to get to and get around. Who knows how long you're going to be out there if your car stalls. And if your car gets flooded to the point where the water is up past the hubs, then that means it's coming in your doors and your car is flooding and you have to sit on top of your car, maybe in the rain for a few hours. Just don't give that a chance to happen. Find an alternate route if you have to travel tonight. Now we go to Kyle.
Yeah, okay, this is a raw viewer report, but we need to get a crew on this. Possible that a tornado hit Camping World and the... You're going there, okay? The Camping World. This will be on.
That's right where we.
That's where we were. That's where we had.
I was pointing out. Camping World was in the shot when we had a reporter out there.
The roof is gone and campers moved and on its side. So that is that area. We had it pinned down perfectly. You saw it here on our with radar and sky view. I mean, Eric, you had that nailed down.
We got our reporter back safe, didn't Maria? Was it?
Yes,
okay.
I think everybody is back safe. So yeah, we
because she was right under it, literally.
Yeah, and that developed quickly, and that's what happens with this. But want to give a heads up here to our friends in Sterling Rock Falls area. You're about to get into this. The wind is weakening on this, but it's still a severe thunderstorm. We've got lots of heavy rainfall, destructive, not to the destructive level, but to damaging level, no doubt. But strengthening on this little feature here out ahead of the main line. We'll have to watch that and see if we've got any circulation. There might be something here. It might be just some outflow, but here near Anawan, I want to watch this. This is moving down I-80. This will be moving essentially almost northeasterly. It would impact the Princeton area here, but you're under a severe thunderstorm warning, but we might be seeing a little bit of a spin going on there near Anawan. No tornado warning at this time, but it continues to be severe thunderstorm warning. I'm going to drop down the line. The wind threat, look at what's happening here, is a good thing. We have still probably 60s sprinkled through here, but it's expanding. We're not seeing that color dense up. But
concentrated area of high winds.
Yeah. So this is what we see, more of a typical type of thunderstorm event where we get 60-mile-an-hour winds in little pockets, not concentrated in a big pool. We've also got reports up in Maquoketa too of some damage. That's where that thing really moved through.
Yeah, we got some tree damage up there, probably pretty widespread based on the pictures that we're seeing.
I'm going back down south here too. We've got areas here that we will continue to watch. I don't know if we got rotation, but some damaging wind potential from Mount Pleasant. This is another wave moving through Danville up to Mediapolis, heading towards Oquaka at this time. I'll back things up. And what I'm going to do here is, since we are still tracking this dangerous line of storms, there is I'm going to track the main line because I want to make sure you folks know out in the Bureau County, Eastern Henry County area, we've got two lines that will be making their way through. But I'm going to get the speed on this and see what we've got for speed. We are moving, let's see here, 30 miles an hour. It just speeds up, slows down. It's pretty inconsistent here. So
I just want to say, as you're on this shot right here, we do have reports now from around Kewanee that that little storm that went through there, very narrow, but it's packed a punch with some strong winds, lightning, and some heavy rain, and it is moving now into Bureau County.
Yeah, this is the second wave. This is the main area, and again, I don't know if this is. I've got it marked here 5 miles over what the warning said, but. Again, rough timing here. We're putting it into the Burlington area. Here about 7 o'clock. Geneseo, it's about to move into town, 652 Geneseo. It's in Kewanee at 7:38. We drop down to Princeton here just past 8 o'clock. There is another wave out ahead of this, though, that we are watching, and I'll time that because that's going to be a little bit, I think they'll be a little bit slower moving. So let me drop that speed because obviously the speed dictates the time of arrival here. And you can see in this area, this front little arc of activity that is in an environment, it is 85 degrees in Princeton right now. So this is only moving into stronger area or stronger, more strength for this to build and more energy for it to build. But within that, maybe some damaging winds. And again, we were watching that little pocket near Anawan there. So that continues on. That one will move into Princeton about 7:30.
All right, Kate's got more at the desk.
So obviously with all of this rain that we've been seeing, even our team members who have been out on the roads driving, Kevin Core, he was near the Relax Inn on Welcome Way by 280, and it took him an hour and a half just to get back here to our station. So really the message is, do not leave unless you are getting evacuated from your house, or you're being told by officials to leave because the road conditions are terrible. I mean, it took him just a little bit of time. But we also have Maria, who is live over in. Okay,
come back to me just for a second, because I just want to say we do now have a flash flood emergency for Bettendorf. Now it's including Bettendorf, flash flood warning till 9 p.m. Local law enforcement reported major flash flooding in multiple roads, including main thoroughfares in and near Davenport. There were numerous stalled vehicles as well as flooded first floors of businesses, and this now including Bettendorf as well. Am I reading the right thing here, Kyle?
Yeah,
because this just came out. Yeah, catastrophic flooding for Bettendorf now as well. So the threat is real, and it is moving along with the rain showers to the east.
And we're only going to get a brief period of a break here because look at what's happening. Like I said, folks, this is just not what we wanted to see happen. We've got all the way back here. Again, don't worry about that tornado. We're going to do that. Oh, it keeps getting into the shot there. There we go. That is the main threat. But look at this. It goes all the way back here to almost the Des Moines area. Yeah, and more building to the southwest.
Yeah, exactly. And you see that as these cells do drop a little bit south and east, overall the movement is to the north and east. So as these individual cells drop southeast, they're going to combine because they're going to hit each other, and this is going to start to widen out. So that means that literally the faucet is nowhere near being shut off. And this has all got to go through not only the metro, but portions of southeast Iowa. And this will start spreading into west central Illinois. I mean, you might not have the intensity because in terms of flooding, because it's not going to be over your areas as long as it's been over some of the other areas. But again, there you can see the problem, more widespread heavy rain, west central Illinois. You're going to be getting into this too. Kate, back at the desk.
Yeah, so we've got another team coverage.
Your mic is still muted?
So we've got more team coverage. Deanna Rodriguez and Mike Ortiz, they are out in Moline. So we're going to go ahead and take them live. Obviously, you can see there's a police car blocking the road there. They say that there's obviously been some pretty heavy flooding there as well. So they've been out driving around in Moline. And as you can see, very active scene right there as well.
Yeah, and that's good that the first responders doing a great job keeping things safe here. I want to mention too, we've got a lot of people reporting outages with internet, which unfortunately that means people probably relying on cell service to see us. But here's something I want to notate, and this is, again, there's no way to shake this, folks. And I don't think we're trying to be dramatic here. I just want to make that very clear. What we're saying is this is an emergency situation. This is catastrophic, potentially catastrophic. River Drive, Moline right now, outside Vibrant Arena, we got reports of flooding there.
So you can see how deep that water is.
Yeah, I got a picture loading there. Thank you for everybody that's been sending stuff in. But if we can come back out here briefly, again, that's the Moline shot there with water covering that road. We've got some more serious situations happening here. What is going to be a deal? Look at this. So as Eric mentioned, while this line is propagating southeasterly, look at what's happening up here to the northwest of Iowa City. Got another big pool of heavy rainfall, and this is going to move more like this right towards us. There's no way to shake it. We're in for the long haul with this, and a very long night ahead with the flooding and storms.
Yeah, and back to that shot, we just saw the police car from Moline, or the police unit there, and then that van going toward it, and then to the right. Now, see, Well, you think, well, why is the police car there? Look, I can see the stripes on the road, not that deep at all. Well, behind that and to other portions of the roads that you might not be encountering until you turn the wrong street or turn down the wrong street, the water will get deeper. Even right now, I don't think they're going to pan to the left for me, but you did see when that van went through, the water got much deeper on that left turn that they had to make, and maybe we'll see a shot of that there as they start driving off. But nonetheless, we're back on radar now. Now, Bureau County, the farthest east we go in the TV6 viewing area, you have a severe thunderstorm warning. And again, pretty standard, 60-mile-per-hour winds, 1-inch hail, and again, lightning, and maybe this strip of torrential rainfall here is fairly thin. Good for now, but later on you're likely to get into more widespread heavy rain and point south and southwest of Bureau County as well. So as we move that ahead, there you can see New Bedford about 6:50 as we close in on 7 o'clock, Walnut, Tuscaloosa at 7:06, Dover at 7:15, on to Bureau Junction at 7:17. As again, this line is moving slowly to the east, more north and east, but again, it is making eastward progress, and there is a southern tail to it, so it will cover much of Bureau County as it continues to move on through. More pictures, North Clark Street on Davenport. And again, this is, here's another issue too. This is why you really don't want to be out there, is because if your car gets stuck, it just makes it harder for first responders to get around if the street's blocked with cars that have been driven. These look like they were probably, well, maybe not necessarily parked, but I can't tell that for sure either way, but those are cars that won't be moving for a while. Hopefully there were no people in those cars to get stranded. And that's another consideration you have to take for tonight. I mean, if you had evening plans, probably make it a home Friday night, especially if you're not affected by flooding and you don't have to leave, because to be outside now is kind of like being outside in a snowstorm or anything else where we want to keep the roads as clear as possible for first responders. And as you heard from that great phone call we had from our Davenport resident, there are people who can't evacuate. They need help, and we need to get first responders and crews to those people who need to be evacuated, and that is a much easier prospect if they don't have to weave around cars that are stuck in the road because they've been stranded by floodwater.
Yeah, I want to mention, I'm going to go back down here into parts of kind of down towards the New London area. We have Parker was down there, and I just got he sent a picture in here, and I sent it in the team's chat. So if we can get that up on air, I'd love to get that on air so we can, always good to see the visual here. And let's see, where is New London in comparison? Yeah, so right here. He's got a very well-defined wall cloud.
Yeah, sure does.
With rotation, so I mean, it's picture perfect. I wouldn't say perfect if you're underneath it or in the path of it, but it is definitely, and he says he is seeing rotation with that. So you're under a severe thunderstorm warning. We've been noticing these pockets of rotation down here, and it certainly continues. So that's not it, but that is a funnel.
That's a funnel, yeah.
I don't know where that was taken at. I'd love to know that. Muscatine, wow,
okay.
We were watching that. And that was earlier in Muscatine. I'd like to mention that because
that is what probably that's the one that came through here. Probably,
I think that's the one that Maria stumbled across.
Yeah, before we got all the rain to wrap it up.
We caught that circulation. I think several minutes ahead of the weather service there. So you got the first alert here on that, and that moved right into the heart of the metro, as mentioned. Now we've got a spotter who's in this area here into Louisa County. And we are noticing circulation with a lowering. Once we get that up, guys, let us know so we can take it and explain that.
Why don't we throw that into reflectivity and put it into motion so we can see just where that is moving, that storm itself is moving.
Here we go. Look at that. And it makes sense there, kind of in that little inflection point there north of Pleasant Grove. That could be where that circulation is. I could put the... let me do this.
Yeah, do circulation movement too, so we can see.
Yeah, right there. It's right there where we're seeing that. Moving into Louisa County, Des Moines County, Louisa County, I think is where we're watching that here. So get across 61, maybe just south of Wapello. So we are watching a possible circulation there. No tornado warning at this time, but we're going to closely monitor that very closely here. I'm going to see what they just updated that warning and still going with that severe thunderstorm warning. Oh, I hit the wrong one here. Let's see. Okay.
Well, you're looking at that. I
Going
just
in.
want to say that look at this leading edge now. Lito's getting into it, but it's starting to show those signs of moving to the east-southeast, and that's the whole system itself. As everything starts to get very widespread in terms of the heavy rain in southeast Iowa, it's going to start inching its way into west central Illinois. So although you've been watching this thing today saying, you know, what's for us? Well, you're going to get in on it by the time late in the system. It might not be as intense. You folks in Henderson and Warren County and Knox County will start to get in on the stronger storms here a little bit later this evening.
Yeah, back up here. So we'll watch that, folks, down here to the south. I want to let people know to the north, the severe weather threat is over north of Highway 30. Probably could say, almost say here north of I-80, but let's say to be safe, it is north of Highway 30 right now, and we'll put Sterling Rock Falls to Clinton, through northern parts of Clinton County, over to the west here. The severe weather threat's over. The flash flooding threat is only just beginning. Severe weather threat does continue. Bureau County, Henry County, southeastern Whiteside County too, all the way down into Mercer, and then also into, looking here to the south here, Knox County, get ready. It's going to be moving into before long. But Mercer down into Henderson County, get ready, Des Moines County, and I would not be surprised if Mount Pleasant area up to the northeast towards Keithsburg, if we get an additional flash flood warning, even down maybe towards Burlington, as we have a huge area of development there. We're going to take it over to the news desk with Kate Kopatich.
Yeah, and we'll go ahead and have our control booth pull up Deanna and Mike Ortiz's live shot. They are in downtown Moline now, where we just saw that flooding last night. I was down there last night. That's near outside the Vibrant Arena on the John Deere Commons, and of course more law enforcement blocking off that area. But yeah, that's right in downtown Moline where we saw that video from Kyle Keel that we've used in all of our newscasts and Facebook. And I mean, as you can see, it's just kind of a flood-prone area right there, but
yeah,
it really
Yeah.
is.
Point
It's
right
one of
for
those
Vibrant.
spots
Yeah.
that we've seen year after year after year. If we have gotten a really heavy rain, that's one of the areas for Moline that continues to offer high water levels. Just kind of gets stuck there. I mean, you'd think, well, the rivers are right there. How come it doesn't drain? Well, you've got the arena there. You've got it bookended by John Deere Commons and the parking structure. So there's just a lot of concrete. You don't really get any open ground until you get toward the hotel, and then on the other side toward the railroad tracks and the queue. So that water tends to pile up and stay there for a while till it can find its way out. And more water coming our way. Obviously, you can see how widespread now, once again, toward the leading edge. Now, the good news here is that along the leading edge, the intensity of the storms is probably not to the point where it was a few hours ago. Now, we're just getting what we call standard severe thunderstorm warnings, 60-mile-per-hour winds, possibly an inch diameter hail, and those warnings are going up, but we're not getting the tornado possible, the considerable damage, severe thunderstorm warnings. That said, though, we do have that circulation that we're kind of watching here in portions of Des Moines County into Louisa County, those areas there, and then these little areas here still along the leading edge that could be offering some stronger winds. But again, right now, I think we're just transitioning to that more of a threat on the flooding side of things.
Yeah, I think the flooding is going to be the biggest concern, but we could see a random little circulation not out of the question.
Yeah.
Alito, you're getting some really heavy rain right now. I wouldn't say anything severe at this point, but I'm just telling you, folks, I'm really, really concerned about the flooding situation continuing on. Bureau County, I've got folks sending some pictures there of seeing a shelf cloud with this or some type of lowering, but nothing that I'm noticing that is too significant right now. But get ready for some gusty winds nonetheless. Again, really the threat's going to be this flooding situation. I'm going to go back out here and going to 35th Street Davenport flooding. Let's take that and let's
this is what I was talking about a little bit earlier. These are some of those apartments where that garden level, I mean, the water is above the bottom level of those windows. So that means those basements in all those apartments are inundated. Those people are going to have to replace almost everything they have in terms of furniture and a lot of their belongings, because there's no doubt that that level of water you see outside is pretty much the same on the inside. And then, again, you see the vehicle that's stopped there. If any vehicles went through there early on and were able to make it, you know, that causes a wave, and then that wave hits the glass or the windows there and only complicates things. But this is a picture that we've seen a lot of today from different apartment complexes, and these are the ones where, you know, we were talking to our Davenport resident, I think his name was Larry, where people are needing help to be evacuated because outside your door you are essentially stepping into a few feet of water. So be it boat rescue, be it early on rescue where they were getting people out and getting them on buses to get out of there, you're going to go back home and see the flood damage. And we'll probably get pictures of those lower levels with that kind of look that we often see during Mississippi River flooding, that mud line on the wall, mud in the carpet, belongings just inundated. And we hate to see that. At least we had warning going into this event and even last night's event where we knew that the rainfall was going to be such that we could get flooding. And flash flooding was certainly a potential last night. It came to fruition. Flash flooding, a potential today. It has come to fruition. And some of those heavier amounts of rain right around and north of the metro, and now especially down there in southern Louisa County.
Wow.
And that's happening right now. That is happening right now.
5 inches
5 inches of rain, yeah.
Impressive.
And this is, I think one reason is because these areas, Kyle, have kind of taken the double shot. They got those storms coming in from the southwest early, and now they're getting the storms that are coming in from the northwest with even more persistent rainfall. The individual cells, they rain heavy, but then they move on. But this, it gets in and the rain just sticks around for hours at a time. I mean, we've had rain here in Davenport for at least a couple of hours, and that's what's led to our catastrophic flooding situation.
Yeah, I'm putting the regional radar here with clouds on it just to kind of show you how expansive this is. And I'll take the satellite off, and wow, I mean, that's just incredible. It's tapping into what we're seeing happen here is we had that pool of moisture of significant, and I want to mention it's still 85 in Princeton, 82 in Burlington. So as this line continues through, it's still got energy feeding it. It's such a massive storm that you know, when we get supercells to form, it moves into a little area of weakened energy, and it can die off. This is not the case with this. This is going to continue on, but we have wave after wave after wave moving through. It is going to be a very long night. The flooding is only going to continue on here. We have a brief break happening here in the metro. I want to mention Dubuque County flash flood warning is ending at 7 and has been replaced with a flood warning. So in some areas it will transition from a flash flood to a flood, which is still not good. But right now, active warnings. We do have this severe thunderstorm warning here for the Des Moines County area. We're up to Louisa County. That's a severe thunderstorm warning. Also southwestern Henry County here, Cambridge area, over towards Woodhull. You're under that warning. And then all of Bureau County right now is under that severe thunderstorm warning. A little portion, I'd say, the Tampico area here in southeastern Whiteside County. Then the big concern is, and what we're most concerned with, is the flash flood emergency that's in effect for the Metro Quad Cities. We have a new warning too for all of Henderson and all of Warren County. Just got issued severe thunderstorm warning there. But flash flood emergency just issued for the was issued for the Metro earlier. And I want to reiterate something. If you're just joining us, you might be waking up to this mess, and if you're just jumping on here to get the alert, I want to break it down for you. We are in a life-threatening situation in the Metro. We have catastrophic flooding is occurring right now. We've heard reports from viewers that have called in, and thanks for calling, and we appreciate that, of evacuations happening. And we're getting these reports scattered all throughout Davenport and now into Bettendorf, Moline as well. Evacuations are occurring. There's lots of roads shut down. We saw the pictures too, Eric, of all those. We had several areas that cars were stranded. We had the one picture, I'll not forget where it was, but I won't forget that visual of that almost up to the roof of that truck. So impressive stuff. Kate Kopatich has more.
Yeah, we've got more information on 35th, Kelling Street. We'll go ahead and take this poll. This is on Kelling Street. Wow. Yeah. And I mean, look at that water. It's all the way up to the garage door, straight flooded. But also, again, remember that the scary thing about this is that it's very hard to tell the depths of that water.
Exactly.
And, you know, that water can also lead to things like sinkholes and, you know,
Yep.
all of those, you know, other road related problems. So
Well, but
really,
look at this picture. I mean, based on the mailbox, it's probably at least a foot deep, because you know how long, how tall those mailbox stands are. I mean, if that's a mailbox that's got a bottom about 3.5 feet above the ground, then we're looking at 1.5 feet of water right there. Stay put, because if you venture out this evening, you might run into something like that and your car stalls, and where are you going to be? You're going to be stuck and waiting for a first responder who is busy evacuating some of the buildings, like the apartments that we've shown you. By the way, I just want to say it is 7:01 right now. You're watching continuing storm coverage and flash flooding coverage right here on KWQC TV6 Davenport, Iowa. We will continue, and you know, here in the next hour or so, we're going to transition more to getting reports from our reporters who are coming into the building. Our news department is going to start jumping on this broadcast more, because now we're starting to get more eyes on the damage and the impacts of this flooding, not just the weather maps, which we've been looking at since 4:30 here. But again, just to before I go back over to Kate, here's the Quad Cities metro area, south of I-80 into southeast Iowa. Widespread heavy rain. This is piling up quickly, and this will eventually transition into west central Illinois. Kate?
Brady, let's go ahead and take that photo that I just sent in Teams. This is from Brianna Baylog and Kevin Core, who are out on 35th Street in Davenport. And this is one of the areas that we've really been watching, as we've seen a lot of storm damage with the flooding. And there's really deep floodwater. And I would assume that these apartment buildings probably have been evacuated, because if we can take this full screen, you can see just really how high this floodwater goes. So we do have that in our Teams for production.
While we're loading that up, we can come back to radar while we're waiting for that. And I wanted, oh, there it is.
There we go.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
that
the
was
one that we've seen a couple of times. And like I said, Brianna Baylog and Kevin Core, they're out there. And also just them trying to get from the station out there. It took them probably an hour. Like they said that it was just the road conditions are so bad with all of this flooding that it's really hard to get anywhere. So if you don't have to leave, if you're not being evacuated, just, you know, hang tight while we let first responders do their jobs and try to get everything under control. I mean,
and this is 35th Street, so I believe Duck Creek is in the vicinity there too. So you got
so
the
maybe
rain,
we can
you've
take
got
that
the
Duck
rise.
Creek camera in the production booth if we could.
Yeah, if we get on that, it'll be interesting seeing that.
Yeah, I just want to mention too, we continue with severe thunderstorm warnings here for Bureau County. Getting a lot of people sending in a shelf cloud moving into town and into the Princeton area, I should say.
Yeah.
Damaging wind possibility there. It is. It's kind of on the cusp here of what would usually be issued for a severe thunderstorm warning, but you know, Princeton, you just last night you had some tornadic situation, tornadic storm move right over top of town. This is what this would be too, is this is not locked in rotation that what we saw last night. What you would see is a little spin up here and there. Not out of the question, but you continue with that severe thunderstorm warning. It's about to move into town, and I can get a path on that here real quick here and get you some towns and times of arrival. So this storm, Tisqua 7:07, Princeton 7:10, roughly here momentarily. Dover at 7:15, Bureau Junction just after 7:15, Depew 7:20. 7:22, Lamoille 7:20, 7:25-ish time frame. So we'll be watching that. Again, maybe some areas of gusty to damaging winds, but just east of Deer Grove here north of Walnut, an influx of wind, maybe 60s, 64-mile-an-hour winds there north of Walnut. So we're watching that. And then real quick here, I want to back up because we have new flash flood warnings that have been issued too.
Yeah.
So it really, at this point, the entire viewing area that has been hit and impacted by these storms and continues to see heavy rain, I can guarantee, just about guarantee, that flash flood warnings will be issued. But we continue with that catastrophic flash flood warning here for the Metro Quad Cities. Kate?
Yeah, so we've got KWQC's Madeline Gillespie, who is live out in the field right now. So let's go ahead and take her shot. Madeline, where are you at right now, and what can you tell us?
Yeah, Kate, we're out here in LeClaire, and we haven't seen too much flooding out here. Some of the streets and gutters are a little bit overwhelmed with water, but overall nothing too deep. It is raining out here, clearly, and we are just starting to see some thunder and a little bit of lightning coming right now. But I think the biggest issue out here in LeClaire is that it seems like a lot of people are without power. You can see behind me, the Casey's here does not have power. A lot of the homes we've driven past that we've been out here for about the past 30 minutes don't seem to have power right now. And we're hoping that it's returned to residents soon. But we're starting to hear that thunder rolling in and some lightning. So we're going to get back in the car and figure out where we're going next.
Yeah.
Live in LeClaire, Madeline Gillespie, KWQC TV6 News.
Yeah, thanks, Madeline, for keeping an eye out
Yep.
there. Yeah, we'll go back to weather really quick.
Yeah, we're continuing to track these storms, Erica. I know we've got more training, and that's what training means, kind of like a train.
Yeah.
One car over another. This is one storm right over top of another. It's not good. Not good situation here.
Yep, exactly, and that's the problem. Although the line itself is slowly and eventually going to sink to the south and east, each of those cells, as you saw, moving slowly over the same spots. That's why you see the leading edge here really piling up with the rain. I mean, the last time we checked here, southern Wise County, 5 inches of rain. And, you know, that's got to go somewhere. Unfortunately, before it gets to drain out, eventually in the Mississippi River, it piles up in the neighborhoods and the cities. And that's unfortunate because, of course, we're dealing with the flooding problems, especially here in Davenport. But Moline is having some more flooding issues as well, especially in those traditional spots right outside the John Deere Commons toward the arena. And you can really see where the storms have been, obviously, just by the piling up of the rain. As we had that development off to our north and west early this afternoon, everything started to expand. The storms moving northeast, the line extending southwest, slowly making that progress to the southeast. And that's why we're seeing, as Kyle's got this on the loop now, how the rainfall just continues to expand in terms of amounts.
Look at that, 4 inches. I mean, we've had 5 inches, and this is only over the last hour. I bet if I go watch this, I mean, this is going to be incredible. I think if I go.
I was thinking this was storm total, but you add a few. Oh, wow, look at that.
Yeah, this is not good.
It just got very.
I'd say southern Louisa County here. You're under. Let me stop that. You're under that. Yeah, look at that. 5.5 inches is just extraordinary. We'll go back into the metro here, but
that's more than rain than you usually get in a month.
Yeah, exactly.
Summer month.
You know, here in the metro, you know, anywhere from 2 to 3 inches. Again, folks, this is on top of what's already fallen, and more is yet to come. Kate.
Yeah, so we are going to go to Deanna Rodriguez. She is on the phone with us right now. They are on the ground in Moline. So, Deanna, what are you seeing right now? What are the conditions?
Yeah, Kate, so right now I am in downtown.
Moline. Hopefully you guys can hear me. And oh my goodness. Okay, so earlier there was a police officer here block people from driving here in downtown Davenport. So right now the rain has stopped. I mean, still a few sprinkles going down, but I've been checking radar and I wouldn't be surprised if it starts pouring here again. But we do want everybody to, well, be safe here in downtown or Moline.
Yeah, and that rain will pick up. You're absolutely right.
All right, I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Deanna.
Yeah, sorry, stepped on your toes there, but yeah, you're absolutely right, Deanna. The rain will be picking up because we've got another band, as you can see, from Muscatine to western Scott County, even in Clinton County. This will come our way. So we are not done with the rain by a long shot. Even off well to our north and west, a few counties away, we're still getting some pretty healthy showers. By and large, yes, the heaviest rain now south of Interstate 80, but still moving its way back toward the metro, and the heaviest rain in Illinois now. There you see from Bureau County up to eastern portions of Whiteside County, and again, all of this rain to the southeast Iowa. Yes, the line itself is moving south and east, but the cells themselves are moving right back toward the metro, so that's going to continue this rain inundation now right into the mid to late evening hours, if not a little bit longer. Thankfully, though, our severe weather threat, well, we do still have some active severe weather warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings within the viewing area. Bureau County here, southeastern Whiteside County, and then down towards southeast Iowa. But relatively speaking, these are kind of run-of-the-mill severe thunderstorm warnings, and we're talking about 60-mile-per-hour wind potential and hail potential, although we're not seeing a lot of that, up to 1 inch in diameter. That's kind of your again, average severe thunderstorm warning. What's troubling us now and will continue to trouble us is the persistent flooding that will continue into the late evening hours, even into the night, as we continue to see all this drain out.
Yeah, and I want to mention too, as I've been mentioning here, if we've got any TV6 folks watching us, and I don't care what department you work, get in here. We could use all the help tonight because we're going to cover this as we've got probably, I mean, again, Eric, you've been here since, was it 93 or?
Yep, that was when I first came.
Yeah, and so in your time here, have you ever seen, I don't think I think we were talking, you haven't seen
Yeah,
anything.
nothing like this. I mean, we've had, I think back, and I can't completely remember the year, I think it was 2015 where we had some flooding that was up toward Division and Kimberly and West Davenport, again, kind of toward Northwest Davenport, where again, there were a lot of apartments that had some flooding there and a lot of standing water on the roads, but that seemed to be more of an isolated event, whereas here, this is so widespread, not only most of the metro, both sides of the river, but again, we're seeing the flooding that occurred last night to our north, and now some of the rainfall amounts that we've been showing you around Louisa County. I mean, these rainfall totals pushing now half a foot, and the fact that we've got standing water in some places that's about a couple of feet deep, if not more, that's just something I've not seen in my whole time here in the Quad Cities since 1993, minus 4 years when I was back up in the Twin Cities, where they had their own flooding issues as well, especially on the interstates, where those roads went down under overpasses and were below ground level. That's why I was a little concerned before when we were seeing those people here in Davenport go under the Arsenal Bridge. It's one of those places where, you know, if the drains aren't working right and if they don't have pumps working on those, that's a place that can fill up with water too, and you do not want to be driving in those areas. But now, with the varied geographics we have around the Quad Cities, there are plenty of places where you don't want to drive, and we've been showing you those pictures where, you know, outside of apartments, we've got roads with 2 feet of water. Downtown Moline, a foot or so of water right on some of the main thoroughfares. And the flooding will continue, as will the thunderstorms here. Got a pretty good batch of wind now going right through Princeton, Tuscaloosa, on the way to Dover here. This is our severe thunderstorm warning here in Bureau County. Now the storms in central Bureau County as they're working their way down Interstate 80. And again, we've got some gusty winds, maybe not those catastrophic winds or winds that would cause a whole lot of damage. But remember, when you get over 40 miles per hour, we anticipate at least some tree snapping. And of course, we've got trees full of leaves now this time of year, so they can catch a lot of that wind. Maybe we did just have a little spot of 70-mile-per-hour winds there.
I want to mention, before we do that, because this is a situation that's, I know with a lot of family and friends here sending pictures, and we're seeing the shelf cloud moving into Princeton, but I am noticing that spike between Princeton, almost exactly where that circulation went through last night, but this one's moving in a different direction. It's moving to the northeast here towards Seatonville, Hollowayville, Ladd, Spring Valley, Depew, Bureau Junction just to your north, but might be seeing a circulation here. About to cross Route 6 there over towards the I-180 corridor. We have a severe thunderstorm warning right now, but I am noticing here on radar there is circulation here. Again, this is going to be south of Route 6, maybe just on the southern fringe of Princeton city limits and to the northeast of Tuscaloosa. We want to watch this. This is one of many, you folks in Bureau County, one of many waves that's going to be moving through. We got more information at the news desk. We're going to take it over to Kate with an update.
Yeah, so we've got a lot of crews that are out trying to gather more information on this, and one of our crews that we are going to go ahead and catch up with on the phone right now is Brianna Baylog and Kevin Core. They are in Davenport at 35th Street. And Brianna, just tell me, what are you guys seeing out there? What are the conditions?
I don't know if we're having issues with that.
Sounds like they can't hear us. Oh.
Yeah, okay. So let's
we'll go ahead and try to reconnect with her in a second.
Okay. In the meantime here, we're tracking that storm. Again, I want to mention this too, because what we're dealing with right now is we've got reports looking at some, this is unconfirmed, but lots of internet outages, lots of cell phone outages. And that's how we use that technology to get our live shots. So it's becoming increasingly difficult for us to get those up, but we will be working on that. We still hold on to this broad circulation at this point, but gusty winds, maybe damaging winds moving through here into Princeton. I want to back out though and show this, because here's what's happening, folks. We've been mentioning this, talking about it, is we've got this band after band and arc after arc of rainfall that's moving through. So even out here into Bureau County, you got 1, 1, 2, 3 waves left to go here before it's all said and done. But heavy rainfall. Now that, again, Mercer County, you're now under a flash flood warning. Louisa County, that area, no surprise there, into Des Moines County. That's that area that we saw radar estimating maybe 6 inches of rain fell. Catastrophic situation here for the Metro Quad Cities continues. So we've got that very dangerous situation, folks, for the Metro Quad Cities. We've got the flash flood emergency that continues on with more rain continuing to fall here in the Metro.
Yeah, that rain will continue as we go through the heart of the evening here, and it will be very heavy, especially coming in from the south. This again is where obviously the amounts of humidity are going to be higher, so there's more moisture for these storms to work with. Our severe weather situation, again, somewhat quieting down, but we still do have some active warnings, and we're keeping a close eye on Princeton, again, where we have that, what Kyle was showing you before, that inverted C, or that backward C, I should say, where we have the winds coming out right along Interstate 80. On either side of that, you can get those little spins, and that might be that circulation that we were seeing there. Just like if you push your hand through the surface of a pool, you'd push your hand forward on either side, even though one of those sides would be rotating clockwise as opposed to counterclockwise, which most tornadoes do. We can still get that kind of circulation on the leading edge of these storms, and there it is right there, that leading edge going into eastern Bureau County now. So that's something we'll keep an eye on. Again, the severe thunderstorm warnings that we have, just here kind of a wait and see for Henderson and Warren County. Yeah, you are getting strong storms in, nothing that is above what we would call a standard severe storm, but the factor is that we're watching for the rest of the evening this very heavy rainfall. And again, we've been seeing parts of Louisa County get so far today over 5 inches of rain, and that's those widespread deeper reds. That's all got to move through southeast Iowa. It's going to end up moving through west central Illinois, might even still curl up a little bit east of the metro. But overall, as this, I'm going to go widen this out to show you the overall picture here. This is a system that will continue to move through as we go through the night. Just the system as a whole, western Illinois, much of northwestern Illinois, and a good chunk of eastern Iowa, but it is still slowly but surely moving its way to the east. I mean, this thing is dragging its heels, no doubt about that. And as we go into the overnight hours, we'll still keep tabs, though, on the drainage, which is going to happen especially south of I-80, where the heaviest rain is falling. Now we're going to go back to Kate at the desk.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and check in with TV6's Brianna Baylog and Kevin Core. Let's try this one more time. So we've got Brianna Baylog on the phone. And Brianna, what are the conditions that you're seeing out there? Brianna, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
We can barely hear. I don't know if in the booth are we having audio issues with that?
Yeah, we might be having some audio issues.
All right.
Still.
Okay, they're working on it.
Working.
Again, the technology situation right now with everything happening here, we definitely continue with our own issues here, trying to get these live shots up because of the cell service issues. We've got lots of reports of outages with internet and also possibly some cell towers down. So I'd like to get us we're working on getting more information out to the north in the northern part of Davenport, where we had reports of I think the Camping World, where we had that. We can get that crawl up because it says winter storm warning.
We don't have a winter storm warning.
Yeah, we got the wrong crawl up there. Thank you. If we get Max Alert Live up, though, that would be good. But and so here's the deal, folks. We've got wave after wave left to go, and we're getting to that point where the only threat, besides the severe thunderstorm warnings in the eastern part and southern part of the viewing area, right now what we're seeing is that kind of being the primary threat, aside from the flash flood emergency. So maybe at 7:30 we bump out and then kind of cut in throughout the night here as we kind of regroup and get some more information. We'll continue to keep you updated though on that. So still a very dangerous situation here in the metro.
Right. Yeah, and I just want to say, we're very thankful for the pictures that you're sending in. Just saw a picture in from Macokota, and right in the middle of the floodwaters between a couple of homes was an electrical box. So that's another reason why you do not want to be out in floodwaters, as we have those floodwaters encompassing the electrical boxes, some of those, those green boxes you see on every other lawn with the posts there for the, at least what used to be the phone company for some of those. So that just is another factor of danger. My mic just went out, so I'm losing battery, so I know that. So I'm going to change microphone.
Yeah, while you do that, I'm going to give an update here. Absolutely. So we've got a continued dangerous situation here in the metro, and I want to say too, we thank you viewers for sending us photos and reports. We did get a report here just moments ago that we had numerous. I'm going to read this kind of verbatim here because we had a report that says was trying to pick up my husband in Davenport from East Moline, and every street I tried has been flooded, including Avenue of the City. So, folks, that's the deal here. We continue with a very serious situation with the flood emergency. And what's going to happen here, too, so the metro, we're still very much in this rainfall. Heavy rain is going to continue on here for the next several, I mean, we're talking several hours. But I'm going to tell you here, too, you folks to the south of the I-80 corridor, where we haven't really seen that the flooding like we've seen to the north here over the last several days. Look at this. 1 wave, 2 waves, 3 waves, 4 waves. That is also setting up to be a dangerous situation here for areas like New Boston. We're going to be talking about Aledo here into Mercer County, down towards Henderson County, Warren County, Henry County, Illinois too. But that is going to be a dangerous situation there. That line of activity is starting to sink a little bit further to the south, but we have a whole arc of activity up here to the northwest. That has to move through the area too. So again, much more rainfall to go here. Lots of heavy rain is still on tap for us. We continue with the severe thunderstorm warnings, talking about that too here in Bureau County. I'll go out here to the east and get an update on that. And so you folks in the Princeton area, you just saw that storm move through here, and we continue with maybe a little bit of enhancement here, but lots of lightning with this too. And again, a couple more waves. So we've got that severe thunderstorm warning that is in place here till 7:45. So this is going to be really taking in the eastern part of the viewing area, or eastern part of Bureau County, that is, now kind of crossing into that section here. So from Princeton down south, we're watching that. We've got another storm, not severe, but again, what we're going to be talking about here is heavy rainfall that will be moving in. And then look at this. I mean, Eric, this is just tremendous. Wait, look, I mean, it's almost, you got
it's
one,
solid. I mean,
two,
it's just solid.
Yeah, and it's one right after another. So
yeah.
Really a true flash flood emergency, a catastrophic situation here for the metro, but concerns are certainly growing to the south here too.
Yeah, and as you can see, those cells, they're just kind of bumping into each other. Yeah, as Kyle was pointing out, here's one, here's one, here's one, but they're just kind of coming together, congealing into just one massive heavy rain. So again, let me just warn you folks in Henderson and Warren County and Knox County and Henry County, you haven't seen the brunt of the heavy rainfall yet. So if you have flash flooding preparedness that you could do, that would be getting out of low-lying areas or getting cars out of low-lying areas, moving things to higher ground. This is what you have to get through, and it's moving slowly. That's why your neighbors to the west are under a flash flood warning. So there's no reason to believe that this will not translate across the Mississippi into Mercer County, Knox County, Henry County, Illinois, also Henderson and Warren County, because these rains right down here, these southern rains, they are not letting up. I mean, the rainfall intensity, the rate of rain is the same, the amount of moisture is the same, and it just continues to slowly move east. And because of that slow movement, that gives the rain the chance to pile up. So that's why we're worried about you folks in west central Illinois, who even here in most of Knox County and most of Warren County are going, what are you guys talking about? You know, it's coming. It is on the way. It's pretty much a given based on the fact that your neighbors just to the north and certainly to the west. And oh yeah, sneak that up a little bit, Kyle. Let's go back into northeastern Missouri. Just move it right straight up. Yeah, look at this. More thunderstorms forming and more heavy rain developing right off the bat from this very humid air. This is going to start to widen out. Those little storms there are going to become one big lump of heavy rain. So there's no part of the TV6 viewing area that isn't going to get in on this. Now, obviously, because of last night and the earlier start for our areas to the north, the heaviest rainfall amounts are going to be up this way. But as this in Louisa County, excuse me, that's where we've had rainfall amounts now approaching half a foot. And in the metro quad cities, where all that rain has come down upon the concrete and blacktop, it's starting to stand where we're getting areas of 1 to 2 feet of standing water. And all you have to do is look at this. A lot of times we're zoomed in on circulations and tornadoes and hail cores. Don't zoom into this. You just have to see the whole thing. That is all rain that's moving into Illinois as we go through the evening. Kate?
Yeah, Eric, and you were just talking about that standing water, and we just continue to keep getting lots of viewer photos and videos, and of course we really appreciate that. So thank you to all of you at home who have been sending us all of your photos and videos. But let's go ahead and take this full now. This is a photo that appears to be, look at that,
wow,
a pond in their backyard. I mean, you can look at that with the fence. You can see really how far that is. Remarkable. So I know we've continued to keep getting a lot of these photos, and Brady in the booth, can you show us another photo that some of our TV6 viewers have sent us? Let's go ahead and take a look outside in Davenport right now. Here's a live look, looking downtown. Obviously, earlier we showed you a little bit further downtown where you could see the downtown streets flooding. We've had crews out and about trying to look around for any damage that is down that way. Also, you know, with flash flooding, the water can be up and then it might recede pretty quickly. But if you're even looking down there, it looks like there are some cars that are able to drive through there. So that is going up Brady Street. You can see some cars still being able to drive on the roadways. But like we said, a lot of our crews that have been out trying to get to all of this storm damage, it's taken them really, you know, an hour to go a couple of miles.
Yeah.
So, you know, just really, really, really bad conditions
Yeah,
all around.
I think that's going to continue to be a deal too, because of more storms that are going to be impacting this area. And you could see here as Eric is kind of putting the warnings up here.
And
we've got let's show the warning update real quick, because we've got those severe thunderstorm warnings. And again, if you're just joining us, we continue with that flash flood emergency for the Metro Quad Cities. Kate, if you want to take us to, I think it's Devil's Glen.
Yeah,
is that correct?
Devil's Glen, I
Perfect.
think. Let's go ahead and take this full.
If we can, yeah. Once we get that up here. And I want to mention too, we're getting reports all over the Metro.
Yeah, so
wow, look at that.
And so I think our producers said that this is Devil's Glen and what was that middle row? Tanglewood, Devil's Glen and Tanglewood.
So this is Bettendorf.
Bettendorf. So from Bettendorf to Davenport, and of course we've had our crews in Moline. They've seen some flooding, but what we can see from at least a lot of these pictures is that it looks like this time Davenport got hit with these really high floodwaters. I know last night we were downtown Moline and we saw quite a bit of heavy flooding, but today it looks like Davenport got a little bit more hard hit with that larger standing floodwaters. So
I just want to again go through the warnings and give you an idea of what times we're talking about for expiration. The severe thunderstorm warning for Bureau County in Illinois, that is going to go till 7:45. As far as the severe thunderstorm warning, let's go back to Iowa and we'll move east. This would be for southern Des Moines County. This goes till 8 p.m. Crossing the river into southern Henderson and then going into Warren County. Those severe thunderstorm warnings are till 8 p.m., so about a half hour there. Going upriver toward Clinton, flash flood warning there. That actually goes till, let's see, I think that was a 12:30 in the morning. Our catastrophic flood warning here in the Quad Cities, this goes until 9 p.m. That includes Davenport and Bettendorf. And then our flash flood warning, this is a rather large one. This includes Muscatine County, Rock Island County, and Point South. That will go until 12:30 this coming Saturday morning. So about another 5+ hours on that one, about another 5 hours to go there. And as we get back to the radar to show you where the storms are, again, our big concern is what's happening south of Interstate 80. Widespread heavy rain and thunderstorms, so you're going to occasionally hear the thunder as these move on through. But the widespread heavy rain moving east, but look at this feeder coming in from the south and west. That's going to keep this rainfall stoked, and that's going to lead to probably minimum amounts across much of this area that it still has to go through 3 to 4 inches.
Yeah, I want to mention, I'm getting pictures here in Minneapolis of ongoing flooding happening there too, some street flooding. Again, this is not centered on just the Metro Quad Cities. It is very much an entire two-state problem here. And I can tell you here, south of I-80 here, it's only going to become worse as this big complex of activity continues to move in. But again, Metro, we had a little bit of a break. We've got another arc of activity, heavy rain about to move in. So hopefully that gave a little bit of time for things to go down before more significant rain builds in here, and we will see that flash flooding ongoing. Kate, you have an update over at the news desk.
Yeah, again, just really we keep getting all of these remarkable viewer photos, and so Brady in the booth, let's go ahead and take this one full.
Wow, look at that, yeah. Kimberly
Okay,
Club
Kimberly
Apartments.
Club.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right near Duck Creek.
Yeah, and we also have access to that Duck Creek camera. I wonder if we could maybe get that up in a little bit. So
Yeah,
we
I'd like
can
to see that, guys, before it gets too dark, but we've been waiting for that one for a while because I'm sure that will show some pretty fast and high flow,
Yeah.
no doubt about that.
I want to mention too something that just off topic to give a little levity here. People have asked why aren't Eric's jacket off and why are my sleeves rolled up? The AC got fixed in the studio, so it's actually comfortable in here.
It's actually very comfortable in here.
I think we almost need the jackets.
I'm about ready to take mine off though because we've been standing so long and I'm starting to get a little tired.
Yeah, right. So
A little warm.
So let's go to Duck Creek camera
Okay,
right
yeah.
now.
Oh,
look
at that.
that.
Wow.
Yep, we knew that would happen. That's
Not a surprise.
lots of large volume of water moving through there, and certainly nobody. This is something we, Eric, you mentioned this yesterday. With all the kids out of school right now, it's tempting to want to go swimming. I cannot stress to you enough how dangerous it is. This is getting mixed with raw sewage.
Yeah, you don't want to be anywhere
And the
near
other
it,
thing,
really.
Yeah, and with the street flooding, you got those. You easily get potholes to form, but also there's a lot of underground utilities, and so you can get. And we've seen it happen here, where people get electrocuted because there's underground power that water interacts with. Bad situation. Do not swim in flooded waters. Certainly don't drive in it. And again, and what you see there, that is very rapidly moving water. So it'd take you, and it'd be a pretty bad situation, maybe even deadly. So,
And as widespread as the problems are tonight, too, I'm sure first responders are stretched. And if there was an emergency to come up, something like that, if your child was to get too close to that water, who knows how long it would take before they could be rendered some aid. So just don't even play with it. Again, as we go through the evening here, you see this is not the shot of me standing in front of this map from an hour and a half ago. It's still raining this hard in southeast Iowa, and as you can see now, we are finally seeing it get all across Des Moines County, Iowa. But look at this, now getting well into Henderson County, starting to close in on Warren County, Roseville, Monmouth. That's yours next, and then it gets into Knox County. So pretty soon here, there will not be a dry speck of real estate in the whole TV6 viewing area. And unfortunately, who's up next? It's West Central Illinois, as all of this flood-warned rain and all of that potential for flooding moves into areas south of I-80, east of the Mississippi River next.
A little influx here of, Kate, we'll get back to you here momentarily. I just want to mention, as we continue to track these storms too, again, we're watching that potential for some severe weather in addition to that very heavy rainfall. And what we see here, we had that warning get canceled for this area, but we're noticing an influx of lightning. That's usually a sign that we are seeing things really increase here. So watching that here southeast of New Boston, up to the north here, north of I-80 at this point, with the exception out in Bureau County, the severe weather threat is over. It is strictly a flash flooding threat, which does continue on. And you can see catastrophic flooding across QC. That is the concern, and we continue to watch that. But we have more heavy rainfall here to the northeast, or northwest rather, heading southeast, so it's not over yet, but still some pretty strong, intense storms here to the southwest of the Quad Cities, eventually making their way into the Galesburg area, over towards Henderson County, Warren County. You're seeing that right now, so the Monmouth-Roseville area, also into, let's say, up to the Lido area, Woodhull, crossing 74 right now, so pretty messy there on the I-74 corridor. But again, we are transitioning from watching the severe storms to keeping a very close eye on this flash flood emergency that continues for the Metro Quad Cities.
Yeah, Kyle, and speaking of the flash flood emergency, you know, we've gotten several reports of both businesses and residents being evacuated from these floods. So if you're a business or resident out there, we would love to hear from you. I know we've already caught up with just a couple of our TV6 viewers, but really we would love to talk to you and hear your story and connect with you.
Yeah, and that's a good point that you bring up, Kate. Maybe if there are businesses that are closing this evening because of the flooding, we would certainly be happy to pass that information along to our viewers.
Yeah, and also too, you know, there's a lot of businesses that help out in these situations. If you're one of those, let us know what you're doing, because people are going to need resources here, because we've clearly have people that have probably lost all their possessions right now. I mean, when you got those garden level basement apartments and you see the water up to the windows, that's going to be a big bad deal. That apartment's flooded. So I'm sure we're going to be getting Red Cross involved in this too at some point. We'll see how expansive this is, but depending on how many homes are affected, you know, we'll be talking about a major disaster here.
Yeah, and Kyle, I mean, even just talking about the flood, a lot of this, we've got flash flooding, but we've also had those tornado warnings.
Yep.
So it's not only flood damage, but it's also tree damage. I know Whiteside County Sheriff John F. Booker, he's reporting a tree down. He's asking the public to avoid the area around McHugh Road for a tree that is blocking that roadway. So storm damage, flood damage, trees down, whatever it might be, you know, take those precautions, and definitely not a time to be out on the road, especially as it gets darker. It's hard to see when those trees might be in the roads, you know, that really causes a big safety issue.
Oh, absolutely. That's a great point. As night falls here, we're at 7:37, so we've got some sunlight left, but what's going to happen is you're going to lose visibility. It happened last night. It was down here on River Drive and 2nd Street. I talked to a driver who was ended up losing a vehicle because they turned that corner off of River Drive onto 2nd Street, for those who live here that know that, and hit it before they didn't see it. They hit the water, and boom, they're like, wow. They didn't do anything wrong technically, but that's what can happen as you cross these low-lying areas. That's why police and first responders get out quickly to try to close those off, because as night falls, it'll be increasingly more difficult to see those spots. But I will say this, as mentioned, not only here in the metro are we dealing with this catastrophic flooding, to the north in the Clinton area up to the north, here's the next problem. All that water has to go somewhere, and over the next coming days, we are going to transition to a flood event, from a flash flood event to a flood event, as I'm sure we're going to see a major rise in the rivers. Again, all that water has to go somewhere. So, serious situation here. We're going to continue to watch this here, continuing with that flash flood emergency here for the metro. Eric.
All right, I'm going to throw a curveball to the control room. Earlier today, when we were tracking a tornado, we had a reporter out at I-280 and Highway 22. If you know that, that's just south of Westlake Park, Camping World. Do you know that? We had a tornado apparently hit Camping World, and if we have that video feed now from Camping World, if we could go to that either now or very soon. I've already seen it in the, okay, let's get to it, because I've seen this in the newsroom, and we've got numerous campers turned over because apparently that's right where the tornado hit.
Yeah, look at that.
And there you can see it. This is again along Highway 22. This would be just west of Interstate 280, south of Westlake Park, if you're not familiar with the area. But if you drive to Muscatine from the Quad Cities and you use 22, you pass this on your right side every time you go. Now this is, I believe, Marcus Lamonis' business with the big flag out there. And we were showing this as we were driving west. Our camera was pointing down Highway 22. The car was moving. Maria was in there, one of our reporters, and I did point out that to give you relative space or a relative location, the Camping World was on the right. We could see the campers, and now look what happened. As we were looking ahead, that's when we saw the wall cloud. That's when we saw what we thought was a tornado approaching, and certainly it was, because it looks to have hit a Camping World with numerous campers on their side and blown over. We've got at least 3 trailers turned over here in our shot. And as we're talking about this, we've got another, is this another flash flood emergency?
Yeah, I'm going to get you the latest here. This is a catastrophic event continuing. They're extending this until 4 a.m. Local law enforcement reported life-threatening flash flooding on many roads, including main thoroughfares in and near Davenport. There was numerous stalled vehicles as well as flooded first floors of residents and businesses. Duck Creek and Goose Creek are both well over their banks. Between 2 and 4 inches of rain, between 2 and 4 inches of rain have fallen. Additional rainfall amounts of 1 to 2 inches are expected in the warned area, with indications that the major flooding will persist into the overnight hours. So the warning and the subsequent flash flood emergency has been extended for Davenport and Bettendorf. This is a particularly dangerous and life-threatening situation. Again, I cannot stress to you enough, that is as serious as it gets. Doesn't get much more serious as it is. Duck Creek camera, let's take a look at that. We heard it's well out of its banks, and it certainly is there. Wow, it's getting close to that roadway there. But
that's the question I have. Do we know if this is the middle road camera or the Brady camera, Brady Street camera?
I'm almost positive that's the middle road camera there. You see it if you're going
guess
into.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, you see that on that pole there, it is it is really, really high there.
You used to live in that area, and I think as I remember from running along the creek there, if you were to look just to the lower left of where the bridge actually hits the bank, there's that big culvert there, which is. If you know that culvert, it's underwater right now, so that's how high Duck Creek is. So again, we have just had our flooding emergency, our catastrophic flooding emergency, our flash flood warning for the metro extended till 4 a.m. and the rain will be extended right through the end of the evening here. Strongest thunderstorms we still have getting through eastern Bureau County now. This warning goes till 8:30, so about about almost an hour left, and there you can see some of the towns along it. What we're worried about, strong gusty winds on the leading edge of that storm, and although not as widespread, certainly some heavy rain right over Princeton now, but there will be more heavy rain on the way to the eastern part of our viewing area.
And Princeton's going to be one of those communities in line here for what is wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5. 5 waves. All could drop 1 to 2 inches of rain. This is serious as it gets for all these areas. So it's not just the metro, although the metro has probably the highest amount of people impacted, certainly does, and we're seeing that unfortunately come to fruition. But again, metro, guess what? We've got a new heavy cell moving into town here on the western side of Scott County, northeastern Muscatine County. We got yellows and reds in there, no wind or anything to be worried about, but heavy rainfall is certainly going to be the case here as that continues essentially up the Highway 61 corridor. We're going to go to the news desk with an update from Kate Kopatich.
Yeah, and another really good image that we can show you is our sky view of the I-74 bridge. And if you look at that, you can see just how high that river level is against those pillars of the bridge.
Can you key me in front of that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Look at that.
Because, I mean, I don't want to point something out, so let me know when I can walk in front of it. They're working on it, okay. But, yeah, that, you just look at that and you can tell it's high.
Absolutely.
But I can tell you where to look, and you can tell it is very high. Usually you see the base of the piers that extends underneath all 3 of those legs of the bridge. Usually you can see that base. That's covered up. That's the highest I've ever seen it on the I-74 crossover there. So that's extremely high. Also, the Mississippi already being affected. So you have to assume that the Wapsipinicon, which floods when you sneeze, that's already being affected. The Rock River being affected, and any of other, especially the Iowa and the Cedar in southeast Iowa, also probably being affected. So beware. The Mississippi is telling us of potential for quick river rises around the QCA.
Yeah, and I'm going to take, we can keep on this. I might be able to just do it here from Max 1, actually, to keep the booth from having to go source to source. So give me 1 second here, folks. I'm getting sky view because I'm looking at the Centennial Bridge and noticing, you can come back out here because I'm going to pull this up right now and show you here what we've got going on. And pretty serious situation, as Eric mentioned there, but I'm noticing this too on the Centennial. So the river flooding situation is now, that's going to become a big issue here as we continue to see that I mean, tons of rain and tons of water moving into that area. So give me 1 second here as we put this up and look at that. Look at the Centennial. I mean, those cement pillars there in the middle. I mean, it is almost up to the middle area there. I'm not noticing any flooding here in LeClaire Park.
Right where your hand is, right where you see that log. That log has been there for a long time, and it's gonna the only high water put it there, and it's going to take high water to get it off. But there you can see as we're looking across toward the stadium how high the water is up on the walkway there.
Yeah, we'll stay with this because what I'll do is I'm going to just look to see if we can see into Davenport. Flash flood warning now for Bureau and Putnam counties.
Look at the water up to the base of the LeClaire Park walkway there.
It's gonna be a situation here. You can see the band shell there. It is very close. Yeah, it is very close there. So going to cause, wow, that is impressive. For, again, flash flooding, this is 2 events that caused this. That's impressive. Again,
considering this quick rise on the Mississippi, I would say that if you had boating plans this weekend on the Mississippi River,
that's a good point.
there's going to be a lot more debris because this went higher than anticipated, and this probably took a lot of debris off the shorelines. So if you do have plans of boating, I was out last weekend, and there were many times, if you don't know, I'm in the Coast Guard Auxiliary. There were many times as a helmsman or as a lookout, I was yelling debris, debris, debris. You're probably going to be doing that a whole lot if you're going out on the Mississippi this weekend, because look at how high the water got up just from our couple nights of rain here. Wow, that's impressive, Kyle.
Yeah, and this is that hallmark, the hallmark picture of Davenport where the flood is compared to that building here on the launch ramp. I know the picture's not great, but it is making its way up there. So again, continues. I just wanted to say I looked at some messages here on Facebook, and people are saying, thinking that this catastrophic terminology is something that we're making up. We are not. It is not sensationalism.
Right,
it's
from
a
the Weather
real
Service.
deal. Yeah, that is how it. We'll go back to radar here, and I'll show you, folks, that. This is exactly what it is. It is a catastrophic event. There's no way around it. That is what we're seeing. We saw what happened, and I keep reiterating this. We saw what just happened here the last several days in other parts of the country. This is not, it is that time of year where you get these efficient rain producers and storms move from one part of the country to the other. It is our turn to get into this, and that's what we're seeing. So I'm going back to radar here, and I'm going to show you, again, catastrophic. It is catastrophic for a lot of people. We're seeing that. People's homes now,
Well, yeah,
if they don't have a home.
If we need to put catastrophic in quotes, we will, but that's right from the National Weather Service. And folks, if you can't be convinced of that by some of the pictures we've seen,
yeah. I mean, it says it right there. Yep.
I don't know what we can do for you. I guess what that says is, thankfully, you are not in a flood zone, and you haven't had your life maybe turned over because your whole house was flooded or your whole apartment was flooded, as has happened to many people here in the last few hours. So thank your lucky stars.
You see it right there. So this warning information here is populated from the emergency alerts, and right there, that tag threat, catastrophic. There's not been ever a warning that I've seen here in our viewing area from the Davenport Weather Service office, whether it be tornado warning, severe thunderstorm warning, ever tagged with catastrophic. So that's how serious it is. It is a life-threatening situation for many. If you're in an area that is not flood prone, you might be just fine. You might get some water in your basement. It might have some ponding in your grasses and in your lawn. But you might not have to deal with what some people are dealing with, and some people tonight don't have a home to go to because we've seen flooding in those apartments where it's, past the windows here of those garden level apartments. So this is catastrophic for a lot of people, including Davenport and Bettendorf. Kate, you've got some updates.
Yeah, and you were just talking about Davenport. So we've got another photo from Davenport. Let's take this one full screen in the booth. This is from Hickory Grove Road. Oh, okay. This one, sorry.
Well, you know what? What I will say, though, in the meantime, is that Duck Creek at Pine Street in Davenport, completely out of its banks.
Yeah.
Fields are flooded behind Williams Middle School on North Division. So we know where that is.
Eric, we are sending a crew over that way right now, so we'll have that. But also, let's big update here. The Scott County Emergency Management has announced a shelter for those displaced by the floods. Now, that shelter is at the American Red Cross Reception Center at KSI. That's 1035 West Kimberly Road in Davenport. Now, we're going to have our digital team make sure that we get that information up on web and pushed out. But again, the Scott County Emergency Management has announced a shelter for those displaced by the flood. American Red Cross Reception Center at KSI, 1035 West Kimberly Road, Davenport. So obviously, a need for this. People are being displaced. This is
that is
very serious.
That is very serious, and I would say right now we're taking a wide view here. Now there's some. I got some hope here that what we're seeing is the expansion of the southern storms here from Burlington. We did get a viewer report too. I want to mention Burlington area, you're not under a severe thunderstorm warning, but you have a lot of heavy rain, maybe some gusty winds moving through town. Galesburg, get ready. Kewanee too. Next round is in, but this might be starting to starve this northern flank of rainfall. We still are going to see rain. It's still raining right now, but if that's the case, this might weaken a little bit here, and it's going to focus here to the south. Nonetheless, there's no, again, it's still going to continue on here with some potentially catastrophic flooding for some here in the metro. We got that flash flood warning, though, that was just issued moments ago here for southern Bureau County. It's the southeastern portion of the county from Spring Valley, Depew, Bureau Junction, over towards the Tisqua area. You're now under a flash flood warning. Severe thunderstorm warning continues there. And again, heavy rain to the north. Kate has another update.
Yeah, we've got some more updates this time out of Moline. The city of Moline is reporting a flash flood emergency with several road closures, one of those being at River Drive, being closed on 12th and 15th Streets, and another on 6th Avenue is shut down from 26th to 34th Streets. We've also had crews over that way, but again, some road closures already coming in for Moline, 12th and 15th Streets and 6th Avenue and 26th to 34th Street. They're asking people to avoid the areas and of course never drive through those floodwaters, as this can be very dangerous, and we're nearing the 8 o'clock hour, and as it gets dark it's even harder to see. So
Sure.
If you don't have to be out on the roads, don't do it.
Yeah, I'm going to let our friends in the control room know what we want to do is that information, that very important information for people about the shelter that is being opened up here. Let's get a full screen graphic or in the lower third there, that information, so people know where to go as they're watching our coverage, and we can get that up, and that's going to be very important for people right now. There are numerous evacuations occurring here in Davenport, also towards Bettendorf. It's a very serious and life-threatening situation for many. This is not good. The first responders, the scanners are just almost impossible to catch everything that's coming in. They are being stretched to the absolute core here, I think, and that's unfortunate. So again, we're continuing with this very serious situation, now focusing the heavy rain to the south here, but we still are in a little bit of a rain pocket here in the metro, and it's only going to continue. It's just adding insult to injury here for the metro and areas to the south. Eric.
Yeah, okay, so as we take a look at the situation as a whole, we're probably going to end our coverage, our wall-to-wall coverage here at 8 o'clock. And the reason is we've got a lot of work to do gathering the stories. I mean, I'm looking at my Facebook page and I am inundated with photos, and I thank you for that. And I thank all of you who have given us some backbone to the story that we've been telling here since 4:30 this afternoon. The severe weather warning will come to an end here shortly in Princeton, I should say Eastern Bureau County. You can see that warning has been shaved off from the west to the east. And I will just say this, if you are in Henderson, Warren, Knox County, Henry County, Bureau County, anticipate flooding, whether or not there is a flash flood warning issued. And if there is, we'll be back on the air to let you know the details of it, but then let you go again. I would just at this point anticipate, because we've got this rain moving through, at least some kind of flooding. Will it be enough for a flash flood warning? Remains to be seen. Certainly could be, so I would prepare for the worst. I would consider that if you're in a low-lying area ahead of this rain, which is just inching along, I would make preparations. I would get to high ground. I would move things. If you have a basement and a not so reliable sump pump, I would at least think about what you could move out of the basement, because this is likely going to happen. It's already happened to your north and west, and it will likely happen to you because the same kind of conditions are rolling into your area. So right now, as we stand, we have reporters coming in from the field with coverage of the flash flood emergency that we've had here in the Quad Cities. We've got standing water all over the place, and based on the amount of pictures that we're getting in, and I'm just seeing one right now, Harrison, running water down Harrison and kind of white capping up to doors of
City
cars.
of Bettendorf also just posting an update about near Duck Creek. Stay vigilant, as those waters could rapidly rise. So we do have that crew on the way too, but another good reminder to stay vigilant.
Right, any creek or stream across the area
Let's do that.
We will any creek or stream in your area, we will anticipate it's going to flood. So it could be a long night if you're in a low spot or a flood-prone spot. But let's take a look at why we cover this. We've got pictures from across the area, and we're just going to go right through them. Obviously, one of our concerns was the tornado that we had.
Bluegrass.
This is out of bluegrass.
That's probably tornado damage.
Yeah, that's definitely got to be tornado damage
Traced
based on the
after.
storm that moved through. If not, the very strong winds, obviously, and we'd have to get a little bit wider shot to see if it was tornado damage versus wind damage. But nonetheless, it is damage.
Yeah.
Here's the cloud that went through bluegrass, and that is a beautiful shot of that shelf cloud.
Yeah, but what you notice there is that area
that
kind
wall
of thick
cloud.
there. Yeah, look at that. That's what Maria was seeing too.
That's what we saw here
where
on
that
our
tornado
sky view.
dropped off. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And we move ahead now. That's over the cornfield. That's a great shot. Takes into account pretty much most of the storm. Okay, this is going north to Cascade, Iowa, and yeah, you can see how strong the storms were as they move through. Look at all that tree debris coming into screen there. And boy, that's a brave photographer getting out of that wind and rain right in their face as
True
they were
Midwesterner
shooting
right
this.
there.
Yeah, exactly. And now he drops south to Clinton. Again, a very chaotic sky, no doubt about that. And this is where we had those very strong winds moving in with that storm in northern Clinton County that was coming from the storm that moved into Jackson County with not only a strong leading edge, but also a tornado warning. Coming back here to the metro, we've got Bettendorf, and just again, a chaotic sky, and Kimberly and Lincoln in Bettendorf, where, yeah, see that storm moving on in. Now we go to Columbus Junction. See that in a moment. And you know, I did get a few of these from some chasers on my Facebook page. That is that stage where the storm is building and you get those very defined edges. I mean, that is literally what you're looking at, an explosion of air. It is rising quickly, and as the leading edge of that rising air condenses, you get those very cauliflower-like edges as that storm builds up. And that's a powerful storm. A lot of water, obviously, which rains out and causes situations like we have tonight with the flash flooding concerns. Big storm there.
Yeah.
While they're doing that, I want to mention, I just got this report from a viewer. I'm going to read it verbatim. Storm damage on 100th Avenue in Bluegrass, huge trees down and mangled, corn flattened, shed flipped up, blown off its foundation, corn crib roof wrapped around a pole, then up by Camping World, flipped campers, and so many trees down. Earlier I captured what I think was the beginning of this tornado when the funnel was forming over the southwest corner of Buffalo. It sounds like that is an area, and I know we've got a crew out there to get video. That's some pretty extensive damage, tornado damage, and that moved right into Davenport, and we saw those power flashes, and most likely what was a tornado. So we've got that, and I'm filtering through Facebook and emails, and we really appreciate the reports. And I just want to say thank you to everybody, because I don't think I'm going to have the time to sit here and reply back as we go through these, because of course the life-threatening, potential life-threatening flooding that is going on here. We want to get that information out to people as quickly as we can.
And one more that I just came across was the Annie Wittenmeyer Aquatic Center parking. Cars literally more than halfway covered.
Really?
Yes.
And that's right in the Duck Creek floodplain too.
So.
Get an update.
Okay, we're finding that some of the water's starting to recede. That's good. That's the start of what the evening will bring. Now that you can see that the Metro Quad Cities has the heavy rain to the east and moving out, and we still will have rain throughout the evening. It's kind of hidden behind our banner there, but it is not the rain of this intensity that is now moving into our western Illinois hometowns, which you have to be very aware of, especially if you're in low-lying areas. All right, back to Ohio Street. This video from Ohio Street. And the water is thankfully coming down. I'm not sure when those people will be able to recover their cars, but nonetheless, you can see how this all played out. Water rose, and we've got that that white vehicle in the foreground, and way in the background, another vehicle kind of blocking the road. And there is obviously why, because that road just became a small river. All right. Okay, we'll talk about the Duck Creek camera really quickly. and let you know that if we do get any more flash flood warnings, and those areas would be south and east of the Metro Quad cities, likely in west central Illinois, anywhere from heads up, I'm going to say these counties as we look at Duck Creek. If you are in Bureau County, Illinois, Henry County, Illinois, Mercer, Henderson, Warren, or Knox County, Illinois, there is still a possibility that a flash flood could be raised for your area. If and when that happens, we will come back on for a few minutes just to let you know and give you the specific details and the specific areas of where those green boxes will pop up. You still have some heavy rain to get through here, and that's what we'll be moving through over the course of the remainder of the evening. But really, it's 8 o'clock, so by about 10 o'clock, this heavy rain, for the most part, should be to the east and south of the area. Not saying that the rain will be done by then. We still have some showers behind that main line, but that is the situation we look at as we move ahead. Over the next couple of hours, we'll gather more pictures, more stories, and be gathering that up into a package that we can roll out for you at 10 o'clock, also with your latest weather forecast. I thank you, Kate Kapatich. I thank you, Kyle Dickens. I am Chief Meteorologist Eric Maitland, who is very tired right now, but we will get back to programming and again alert you if any more flash flood warnings are issued. Remember, Bettendorf, Davenport, catastrophic flash flood emergency continues right now.
And a crime almost too cruel to be true. I'm Lester Holt, and this is